Welcome back to the shipyard. In keeping with our tradition of Star Trek adventures, A, we're starting late, B, we're not on board the Hadfield, and C, she won't be used tonight. It's just kind of what we do. Trust me, it will change. This, as some of you know, we normally do this every other week. I got a small amount of the gang together so we can finish the captain's test that we left off on last week, and that way hopefully people are caught up for next week, or at least everybody can be in the same place next week. There's life circumstances for that, but there's also story purposes for that. This has been kind of a, how do we work Nick's schedule with other people's schedules, but now it's also, well, Chris is a little less chaotic and now he wants to get playing, so we need to get him on board. And then right now he's on the starbase. So a couple of notes from the last scenario. The Akira class that they're on, I am calling the U.S.S. Loki. Call that whatever you will, but I think it's fun. The two engineers that caused mischief are Fred and George, officially. No, we're not going. I can't have the copyright.
Oh,
I don't have
this. We can do whatever we want with this.
I don't have that.
Wemsley.
Yeah. Wemsley or something like that. Webley.
The Weebleys.
Weebly.
The Weebleys.
They're brothers. Yeah.
Weebleys wobble and they do fall down.
Fred is the one that thought it was a good idea to toss the photon to George.
Don't tell the elf. Toss me.
Wait. Ferengi are kind of like elves.
Well, aren't they more like dwarves?
Gremlins.
But
Vax. See, Vulcans are the elves, and the Ferengi are the dwarves.
Okay, but Vax kind of looks like Dobby.
yeah, a house elf. Although the ears are a little.
It's close though.
The captain gave Vax clothes. Vax is now free.
Oh.
No, Vax.
Or at least a steep discount.
There's no profit in being a house elf.
Actually, there is. You get fed, you get housing for free. Like
all those are free.
Profit equals like gain above status quo.
No gain. You're surviving, and you can't forget the rule of acquisition. A Ferengi with no profit is no Ferengi at all.
Nothing stops you from running a business from the house.
That's true.
This is the 24th century. You can do whatever you want from your own house.
Selling off all their fine dinnerware behind their back.
And by the way, Captain Lorca is the one who gave Dobby a sock.
Still want to know why he has a tribble. It's probably to detect Klingons when they come in. If a Klingon agent ever boards the ship, the tribble
goes off the starboard bow.
Scrape them off, Jim.
So, listeners, if you're not having fun yet, then you probably never will. Just kidding. Stay tuned. There's always more.
There's definitely more.
It's been a long day for all of us.
We need some folk bands to come up with like theme music for our sessions.
I would love a theme song for this show. I think we also need a name, but
believe it or not, I'm fighting 8472.
Yeah, you are. So that's a perfect segue back. By the way, hi, Alan. I'm watching chat today, guys. I promise. So, you successfully beamed the photon I'm calling it a grenade at this point. Well, the photon torpedo device onto the bioship.
The warhead.
Yeah, the warhead. It detonated. The rear of the ship kind of went bleh, and just disintegrated into space. Well, flew into many pieces. Made spaghetti.
Scatty.
It turned into sketty in space.
Space Sketty.
You get the same thing of putting a pinhole in a exterior compartment.
The other ship.
We didn't know the A472 ships were inflatable.
Oh goodness, that gives me an idea for something else.
All right.
847 balloon animals, like, or something.
4 of them come together and they're like, "Hey, look, a dog! Oh, look, a giraffe! Oh, look, a cow! Oh, look, your ship's dead."
And for those
Borg
Falcons
are
out
just
there,
like-
a salat. An ocelot.
Fire bubbles at the opposing ship. Sir, our balloon animals are ineffective against their hull. Keep trying!
They're equally as effective as the phasers.
Turn the ship into a novelty whack-a-mole hammer.
That sounds a little like Tom Hardy.
Goodness. Why do I have a feeling
Bane.
that the Orville actually has a novelty whack-a-mole hammer? Just a thought. I may be spoiling season 2, episode 18, but
Well, Norm Macdonald's Goo character is probably the mole.
did he have a farm? That's all I want to know. Okay.
Who knows?
Anyways, back to the story, guys. This is what's going to happen tonight. We are going to sidetrack, and it's just going to be one of those nights. So
Fun.
bear with us and have fun with us. I hope that you're having fun with us. That's the whole point of all of this.
Yes, please.
With only
Come on in.
only 2 player characters, we can do this. If I let this happen with 6, we would never get anything done.
If I can have a D&D campaign with me as DM and 1 other player, we can manage. With it, this is achievable.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, so the other bioship. At the moment the first one detonates, the other one comes into sensor range.
Oh, good.
Oh, good, yes.
Close range.
Close range. And it's heading at full impulse.
Damage report. Did we take any damage or have any effects from the explosion on the other ship?
No, Captain. Minor shield strain, but nothing that won't be fixed in a matter of seconds.
Well, I don't expect this next attack to be easy on us. So let's direct all energy to our screens in their direction and just follow them. If they go to port, funnel our power to port. Starboard, dorsal, ventral, just keep following them. Keep our strength on their side.
Aye, Captain. So, the bioship zooms past you. Wants nothing to do with you.
Well, intercept course. Put us between the planet and the bioship, just like last time.
They're already past you. They're already headed towards the planet.
Is there a reason why the previous order to stay between was not followed?
They've come in that fast. You were out of
Understood.
You were out of position from fighting the last one.
Understood. Vax, can you give me any more speed?
Okay. In the engine room, is there any way that I can coax out of more of these engines without causing Fred and George to cause everything to explode?
You know that.
Oh wait, no, they're busy in the teleportation. Okay, they're not down there.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. You have. I know there's some mechanic for this.
Push it to the limit.
Starships. Where are you, tiny starships? Thank you.
Punch it, Vaxie.
Oh, don't worry, this is not actual game time at this point.
Yeah.
Well, part of this is scrolling through a 300-page book.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I could see why that would be a little bit more convoluted.
Okay, David is not equivalent to Data. He doesn't have it all memorized.
Oh, come
He doesn't
on,
have-
disappoint.
Nor is he 7 of 9. He does not have an eidetic memory assisted by nanites. So we will give him the time he needs
I'm getting there.
without complaining. Just teasing and being playful. That's the infernal offspring of Krusty the Clown and Woody the Woodpecker.
Yeah. Oh, Woody the Woodpecker. That takes me back. Now I feel old. Wally.
Okay. So that's how that one works. I figured this out. Now I just have to check something. Got it. How do we get to that number?
You know it's bad when the highest skill set of mathematics says, "How did we get that number?"
Well, it's
Why is my calculator showing an E?
Look, Dave, I divided by 0. No, you fool! You've doomed us all.
What happens if I divide by a 0-point module?
Oh God. Well, then we lose Stargate.
No.
No, not Atlantis.
it's Robert Picardo's birthday.
Is it really?
Hey.
Oh.
If you're listening, Robert, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Robert Picardo. Loved you in Golden Girls.
Oh, and I loved you in Inner Space, the cowboy. He's an old cowhand from the Rio Grande. Classic fun sci-fi.
Aha. Got it.
Uh-oh.
I know how I got that number. Great. Now I just have to find one last thing. What's your actual number for this?
42.
Well, it's all based on your power.
Okay.
So how much power does your ship have?
Hopefully a lot, because it is an Akira class.
10. You have 10 power. You've been using.
I got the power.
You've been using power for your shields,
which are probably pretty scuffed up on the lateral side.
Yes. So at this point, you can spend power. Power is similar to your character's stress.
Mm-hmm.
In that once you lose all of your power, well, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But you can spend power to divert. Basically, you have power, and you can divert it where you need it.
Okay.
But it consumes power.
Yeah. Hence the whole lines of take it from life support if you have to. Da 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 da.
Yes. So you have power. If you want to transfer it into the engines, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's catch up to them and just keep pace.
I'm assuming I have made it back to engineering after I sent away the antimatter. I made my way back to where I'm most useful.
Yeah. Okay. So at this point, you're going to make a the ship is going to make an engine's engineering roll.
Mm-hmm.
Vax is going to assist with his I don't know, engineering, and let's say control. Presence. I'll give you presence.
Okay.
Presence. So the ship will roll 2 dice. You will roll 1.
Okay. 1 it is.
I'm retconning this. You want me to roll for the ship?
I can roll if you want.
Okay. So Nick, you roll for the ship. The bioship is also going to roll.
Oh, good.
This is a contested roll because it's determining speed.
Okay.
So, Nick, your to hit number is 10 because this is not a ship built for speed. It's a ship built for fighting.
Yeah.
But Vax, you have better. If you guys did start with 3 momentum, that was carryover from last time. I'm giving you that. And I will spend threat to purchase another die.
Oh.
For the bioship. So if you want to spend momentum, feel free.
I have already rolled my dice.
So Nick, if you want to spend momentum,
I got a 1 and a 7. I'm just going for it.
Okay.
I've got a 1.
So that's 5 successes.
Yep. And I've been showing the video feed of it too. So it's an honest roll.
That's fine. I've got 3.
Woohoo!
So, yeah, wow. You guys have a.
Any game, a 1 would have been just rejected by everything, but in this, it's just like, I got a 1.
Yeah, you guys have an out of storyteller. You guys have an inexplicable propensity to pull crits out of your asses.
Okay, so to be fair, one of my dice rolls in the last game, there was a 19 in there.
Yes.
I did roll poorly on one of, like, I see no narrative-wise, I see no point to fudging dice. So it's
no.
to say the answer
because you know that I'm here to tell stories.
Exactly.
Right.
And maybe not all that well, but I'm at least here to tell stories.
It's like last week. It's like, yeah, we want the complication.
More
fun.
And I want you guys to want the complication.
Yeah.
It was pretty hilarious.
I mean, it could have been better. Like, I really could have had it better, but
At least it didn't go off in the transporter room.
No, you would have had to have, like, you probably would have had to have nothing but complications for it to go off in the transporter room. Anyways, so story-wise, you guys are gaining ground on the bioship. You are definitely putting it where you need to put it. You are you're within weapons range if you want to be within weapons range.
Yep.
Okay. So you're within weapons range.
We're just going to observe at this point. I'm now curious. Monitor all emissions coming from that ship. Any power fluctuations, anything. I want to know if a pin drops on that ship. I want to be able to hear it.
So it gets to the planet and it assumes standard orbit.
Hail them.
I'm making a roll. Do you want to spend momentum?
How many do we have right now? Is it 3?
3.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. You get a signal. There's
Audio, visual.
audio. There's no communication, but there's a signal.
Let's hear it.
There's nothing. There's nothing coming back at you. It's as if they're just listening.
Huh.
So it's not really a signal so much as just kind of.
Well, they've opened the channel. They've answered the.
Oh, okay.
They've answered the phone, but they haven't said anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was
And over the
misunderstanding what
receiver,
your
they're just
intention was.
listening.
Yeah.
Out of character, I do have focuses in negotiations and etiquette if it is if it will be of assistance at some point.
So, Captain, if you want to call your Ferengi to the bridge.
Well, I have communications and diplomacy. So
okay, perfect. Yeah. So
yeah.
Never hesitate to remind your GM about your focuses.
A good call.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's
because
why I said character. Because obviously the captain would already know this information.
Because it always actually, given the situation of how the captain beamed on board, he might not.
Might not have which, sorry?
So you were beamed on board in the middle of a crisis.
Right.
You don't really know your crew.
No.
At this point.
Fair enough.
You've gotten to know the name Vax. And you know the name Cost Devon as your chief tactical officer. But
on my Captain's Chair console, I would have called up the names of all the department heads just so I had them at the ready.
Right. But in terms of a bio, you haven't had time.
No, I don't know them. All I know is their names and positions.
Right. You know the names, you know the positions. You're learning very quickly that they're capable officers. They wouldn't be department heads if they weren't.
And I'm going to leave this one up to Dave, but I think Vax's bio will also be kind of curiously lighter than usual.
Yeah. And at any point, if you want to take a look at Vax's bio, we can go down that road. But
oh, definitely.
Perhaps not the time when you've got a bio ship.
Yeah. What basically, once I'm en route to the Hadfield, be it by shuttle or other ship, in my downtime, I'll be reading through all my my crew to be's,
Okay.
profiles.
So you've got an open channel.
All right. This is Descartes Rohn of the Federation starship Loki. Please explain your presence here in Federation space.
Captain, this is not audio. At that moment, you have a psychic flash that takes you back to a very familiar planet. Palar 4. The plague planet. The place of the Phnom Penh plague.
Phnom Penh.
Yeah. Phnom Penh. 6 of 1.
They have great wings.
You look around and you notice that Vax and Kostevin are with you.
Am I aware that I'm with him, or is this
yes
different? Okay, so I'm aware of this as well.
Yes.
Okay.
It's as if the three of you were with this.
I am looking very stunned. My little beady eyes are darting everywhere, and I'm flabbergasted and not making complete sentences. Just
Koss draws his phaser and says, "All right, triangle formation. All three of us back to back. to back.
Dekar's eyes are flitting around. He's a little apprehensive. He's trying to keep his heart rate from rising too much, and he's also noticing that he can't sense Rohn right now.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, this isn't what this planet doesn't look like the you recognize the planet, but it's not as bad as it was when you were called in. It's, if you took an educated guess, it's months beforehand.
Ah. So I assume there's trill people.
There are trills milling about. Not right where you're at, but at the very distant, at the very far reaches of your vision, you can see a couple of villages.
Okay, so we're outdoors.
You're outdoors. You're
Time of day?
It's afternoon. By the position of the sun. It's either late morning or early afternoon.
Okay.
Hard to know based on the sun's near the peak of the sky, so you don't know if it's
a little before, a little after high noon.
Yes. And you just have this eerie sense of, what if this is a second chance? Or am I being forced to relive my worst nightmare?
That's why the heart is racing. Dekar's like realizing where he is, and given the state of things, he's already assuming that it's pre-outbreak.
If you would like to make an insight command roll.
16?
Yeah. Difficulty 1.
Okay, single die. It's a 4.
Oh no, you always get 2 dice.
Oh. Yeah. 4 and 14.
Okay, so 2 successes. It is definitely pre-outbreak. In fact, it is pre-initial infection.
Is there, how disassociative is this? Like, do I recall being on the bridge just before this, or is this like full immersion kind of thing? Do I remember the communication and everything like that? Do I remember the transition between?
To you, Captain, it's as if you intended to be here all along. So your memory has almost been altered.
Okay.
And it's as if your plan had been to come to this planet all along.
Okay.
So you remember being on board a starship, but then you beamed down to this planet.
Okay.
Your other officers, they are a little more wary.
Well, they have no connection to this place. There's no familiarity, so it's more jarring for them.
They're in a situation of, what do we do? Well, not even what do we do, but they're in standard unknown planet defense mechanism. The captain's on an away mission. This is not a regular occurrence. Your security guard, your security officer is definitely on high alert because his mission is protect the captain. Above all else, protect the captain. Your chief engineer is there because things could go wrong.
But I still have full memory of that you know, I have gone through that before, and this is an again sort of situation. It's not
yes, like you're having trouble reconciling the two.
Yeah, because it feels like I'm back there from that point of view, but I know I'm not.
Yes,
right,
and you can't place it. Things are weird. You definitely, to use our colloquial, your spidey senses are tingling.
Mm-hmm. And Dakar's struggling to reconnect with Rohn, but he's not quite there. It's like he should at least feel that he's there, and he's not.
Right. So
there's that sort of or the separation anxiety in a sense there.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling a little alone.
So the
Vax costs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come over here. Let's take stock of what's going on here and figure out why we're here. I recall opting to come down here, but I'm just not sure why.
Now, I remember being in engineering.
Yeah, so Vax, what you remember is being in engineering and getting a call to meet in the transporter room.
Okay.
So you were summoned for an away mission. No real details about what to prepare for. So you have a standard engineering kit with you because that's what you do.
Yeah.
You all have type 2 phasers on you.
Okay.
Just to be sure. Also, to be clear, Devin does have a med kit with him.
Okay.
You also all have tricorders, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm laying the groundwork so you know what you have. If you want to ask me if you have any other equipment at this point, let's go ahead and deal with that now.
Yes.
Rather than trying to figure it out later. So
my multi-atmospheric breathing apparatus, it's implanted in me, so that's something that would still be available in this case, or is it something that's just not there?
Sure, you have that.
Okay.
Not going to do your crew any good if they need it, but you have that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I do pull out my tricorder and begin checking the surrounding area, see what interesting things crop up on it. Anything of interest.
Great. Give me an insight science roll.
Double dice? Single dice?
Double.
Double.
It's always double dice,
okay.
Unless you're assisting. Which
right, that's why I was confused earlier. Yeah.
13 and 60.
60?
So you have one success.
Okay.
Because your science is only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so you do meet the threshold. I was going to say difficulty 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those, the more successes you got, the more you would have learned.
Right.
But you definitely learned stuff starting at 1 success.
Okay.
So you an initial scan of your vicinity, there's no life forms within 200 meters.
Okay.
Other than the 3 of you.
And the village is further off.
The village is probably 1,000 meters?
A kilometer away.
Yeah, kilometer out.
Mm-hmm.
So that won't be unnerving
walk
to me because it's like, okay, there's just nobody in the nearby vicinity. I'm not
right. You can see them because they're up on a hill.
Mm-hmm.
Not a mountain, just a hill. Not even rocky. It's green.
A rise.
It's a little rise. There's a path up there. It's a nice gentle slope. It definitely looks like a place you could walk to.
Okay.
The terrain doesn't look treacherous. There's some animals out. This looks like a farming community that you've beamed down to, or something resembling the middle of the United States.
Which Dickar feels rather odd, considering that the planet was a Federation Trill colony in its early stages.
Yes. Well, part of the colony early stages is it's not densely populated.
Mm-hmm.
So they are in small pockets of living.
So as I'm checking my tricorder, I just casually mention to the captain, "This looks like a wonderful place to retire. Fresh, clean air, open spaces, wonderful. It's stunning."
It was. It was.
Was, Captain?
This isn't right. It shouldn't be like this.
I don't understand. We just beamed down on this planet.
I've been here before. This is where I got my symbiont. This is where the plague hit.
Plague. I quickly grab like a piece of like my uniform and like try to cover my nose, like.
At this, Devin goes,
Cost. Scan for the atmosphere for any pathogens.
Yes, sir.
And give him some details as to the plague itself. What little my character would know about it.
So that's going to be an insight medicine roll, which is a 14. Break. Do you want to give him another die?
Could I assist him given my knowledge of the future past event? Just as far as knowledge.
You can provide him details of plague stuff.
Yeah. So I can give one roll?
Yes, one die.
11.
Okay. That would also be your insight medicine. So yeah, that's
yeah,
success for you. He got 2 successes.
Nice. So 3 all around.
Yeah. No crits, but yeah. So that's another momentum for you guys.
Sweet.
You really got to let me give you guys difficulty beforehand. I know I made the roll there, but I'm like, always ask me what's the difficulty. Yeah.
We trust you.
You detect nothing having to do with the plague. There is no evidence of it whatsoever on this planet.
I slap my right hand on Costa's shoulder, pull him a little closer to me, and just say, "Scan me. Is my symbiont okay? I can't feel him."
He pulls out his tricorder, scans you, and he said, "Captain, what symbiont?"
What? Dickar gets all goose pimply and hair standing on end kind of sensation. Huh? And just stands there, mouth agape.
Muffled from underneath my shirt. How can you just lose your symbiont? That's not how it works.
The Ferengi speaks the truth, but if the captain says he has a symbiont, then the captain has a symbiont. One does not disappear. There's more to what's going on here than a simple disappearing symbiont.
Dickar starts feeling around.
So it's pretty obvious that, something has happened. Still muffled from underneath my uniform. As I'm trying to block a plague.
The thought of that's very amusing.
Dickar starts palpating at his abdomen, trying to see if he can feel anything that should or shouldn't be there. Kind of exasperated and worried. No, not there. No. Where are you? You have to be here. I need you. No. All right, well, gotta figure this out somehow, but we're not going to do any good if I'm just stranded here in my own concerns. Let's head for the village and investigate.
Great. Everybody make a fitness security roll.
Oh boy.
There's 4 momentum available.
I got a 1 and a 12, and my fitness security is 12.
Great.
Nice. Now, fitness security, do you combine those two numbers together to get your roll?
Yes.
Okay, so 11. I'm sitting at a 5 and an 8.
So I've got 3 successes, 2 successes, and now the guy whose job it is to be security.
Oh boy. Oh no.
He rolled a 16 and a 20. I kid you not.
How did the Ferengi become more graceful than somebody trained at this?
Than somebody who fought as a Bajoran resistance fighter walking through the hillside. An open hillside. Okay, so here's what happened.
Must have been a phobia.
So Devin's taken point on this because so you guys are walking Devin, Rohn, Vax.
Just Dickar at this point.
Or Dickar. Okay.
Yeah.
So Devin, Dickar, Vax. That's your lineup.
Okay.
And you get about a third of the way there, and Devin darts for cover. Captain, over here now.
I jump to his side. What's going on? What do you see?
Everything. And yet,
what do you mean everything?
Nothing.
Explain.
I can't.
Take a deep breath.
I
start
can't.
Somewhere.
That's the problem. I'm seeing everything. There's Cardassians. They're here to kill me. This planet. It's the occupation all over again.
Oh God, he's having hallucinations. Is that a part of the thing? Oh God, is he infected with something?
I do remember the Undine, right? 8472. No. Yes.
No.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
You're not on Cardassia. You're not on Bajor. You're here with us. You're fine. There's no Cardassians around. Just ignore them. Block them out.
But command control roll. Or no, sorry, presence command.
Okay, 14.
Difficulty 2. So if you want to spin
1 and a 2.
Nice.
Like, I have not rolled this many in a long time.
I know.
Now, when it's a life-threatening circumstance, you're going to see a lot of 20s.
Yeah.
I hope I get at least one.
He rubs his head and he's like, Captain, is that you?
Yes.
I could have sworn I was back in the occupation. Something is messing with my head, but I'm. And he shakes his head a few times, and he's like,
I place my left hand on his shoulder, give him
okay.
some reassurance.
I'm coming out of it, but I'm gonna need a minute.
Take your time.
So while
there's no immediate.
So while those two are doing that, I'm taking point and checking my tricorder, because obviously if they're trying to focus on one another, I'm just going to make sure that there's no unforeseen circumstances.
Anomalies?
Yes, thank you. Yes, that's even better.
Great. Give me an inside security roll.
All right, let's see what I can do. I wouldn't say I'd be good at it. I'm just going to try. 4 and 5.
Okay. That you see someone walking from the village towards you.
How far away?
They're still a couple hundred meters out. They're not walking fast.
Okay.
They're strolling.
They're strolling. They look like maybe they've spotted you. And based on your assessment, Vax, of the situation, they don't look threatening. They look as if they're coming to investigate.
Okay. So I'm not going to point my phaser directly at them, but I'm going to keep it held up in defensive for whatever purposes, just in case, at the ready. With my makeshift handkerchief over my face, I nod over to the captain. Handkerchief? Captain, we have company.
Vax, there's no plague here right now.
I slowly lower my uniform. There's not.
No. Koss did a scan, remember? I knew what to look for and we didn't detect it.
Although did you mention it to the group?
You were right next to us.
Oh. I didn't know if I was looking over your shoulder or not.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Although my medical skill is the lowest.
Are we gonna die?
So I would just see, ooh, pretty graphs. Well, that would have been wonderful information to know before we went on a hike. As I dust off my uniform, trying to re-straighten it, slightly tiffed, but understanding that it's not exactly both your fault, because it's my fault for not knowing what the readings meant at all. But still, right. My little beady eyes are narrowed and aggravated.
Out of character. Next time I'll have to just tell Koss to speak up. The Ferengi apparently can't hear you with those enormous ears of his.
Giant ears.
Oh, Vax, what giant ears you have to not hear me!
I guess he was really focused at failing at reading his tricorder for like the nearest 200 meters of nothingness.
Again, out of character, are you sure you're not a female?
All right. So do you guys want to stay there and wait for them to approach? Do you want to start walking? What?
I just make eye contact with Koss to make sure that he's okay, and then I stand up.
He
pull
nods.
Up a card maneuver and stroll towards the welcoming party. With my hands to my right side, I kind of pull my fingers in the like follow me kind of gesture at my waist. So to Vax and Koss.
Yeah.
And I put a smile on my face Not quite the Denobulan smile yet. Just a regular humanoid smile.
All right. Koss has stood up at this point. He's still looks a little worse for wear, but he's a war veteran.
Yeah.
His worse for wear is still better than most people's best.
Well, better than the businessman Ferengi.
I'm sauntering rather slowly to make sure that I give him time to catch up. I'm not moving ahead too quickly or to be threatening.
He still insists on staying in front of you, making sure that he's between
so
you.
He catches up with him.
Yeah, he's between you and the welcoming party.
I insist otherwise through hand gestures and just get him to stand beside me.
So
I give him a stern look with my head tilted down, kind of like as if I was looking over my glasses, kind of thing.
He kind of growls and accepts that.
And then I wash that expression off my face, turn back to the oncoming people, and smile again.
With the oncoming people, if I can identify race, one of my focuses is etiquette. If I could find a proper greeting or know a proper greeting.
Recognition check on my part. Are they Trill?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, at a couple 100 meters, it might be too difficult to see their spots and whatnot, but I think by now, let's say they closed, I don't know, half the distance or so, we should be able to tell by then.
Yeah, they're now like 100 meters out.
Are they wearing Starfleet uniforms?
No.
Standard civilian clothing for Trill / Starfleet, or sorry, Federation?
Yes.
Okay.
They are in what you would deem to be nothing abnormal. They look
common
like
for them.
Yes.
What I would expect them to be dressed in this situation.
Yeah.
Understood. And before they get, once they're in casual earshot, so I don't have to yell at them, I'll go, "Greetings!"
The lead goes, "Greetings! I am Joran. This is my wife, Karil.
I am Dakar.
Dakar!
Captain
Nice to meet you. We don't get many Starfleet visitors out here. What brings you by?"
We were in the neighborhood and we thought we'd check in on you.
Oh. Any other reason?
Just call it a hunch.
Huh. The hunch of a Starfleet captain. Interesting.
Vax is looking very confused right now.
Well, anything notable happening this past week?
We had some Klingon visitors, but that was standard. They were bringing some supplies by.
Mm-hmm.
We've had our regular other supply runs, but nothing abnormal.
Just give me a sec here. I'm trying to think of something.
Of course. That voice is not the easiest on my vocal cords.
So I look at them and politely, with a smile, trying to continue on the polite attitude that the captain's giving these people. Excuse me. The transporter may have scrambled my mind a little bit. What is the current star date?
Hold on.
What, 9 months ago or 10 months ago or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or I guess this would be like before, so maybe like a year ago.
Yeah.
I'm running under this previous circumstances of when the captain said of this is what it was.
Yep.
So I'm going under anomaly circumstances. I'm curious. Because obviously I noticed my captain is very trying to prod for information without actually bluntly asking the heck is going on.
Yeah.
Why aren't you all dead yet?
Oh.
What? You're still here? Go home. The movie's over. I'm going back in my shower.
It's 55247.94.
Obviously, I can tell right away that it is not current date.
In fact, it is April 2378.
I kind of sideways glance at the captain going, I have no idea about this planet or this history, so I'm a little bit lost as to it. But
sorry, for your character purposes, you are in roughly October of 2379.
Okay. So this is like a year and a half earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do give a sideways glance. Like, I don't know the history of this planet. I don't know the lore of it. I know little inklings of Trill, but nothing dramatic information-wise. So I do give a sideways glance to the captain. Like, the captain obviously knows what's going on more than I do, and I was just given an incorrect date.
Does somebody... Well, here, I'll put it this way. Somebody can make an insight check to determine if they're lying or telling the truth.
I will do that.
So that is an insight security check.
Okay, I'll be a 14.
Oh, boy.
8 and a 6.
Great.
Nice. As far as you can tell, they are telling you the correct date in their mind.
Yeah. What they believe to be the truth.
Yes.
Would I be able to pick up on that as well?
Yes. There's no deception in what they're telling you. So just for your guys' benefit, anytime a character, player character, NPC is giving you pieces of information, you can say, I want to make an insight check on that.
Okay.
Sometimes that'll be contested, sometimes it won't.
Well, because if they're trying to lie to you, it would be contested because they're trying to hide.
Not necessarily.
No, it's whether or not him as the GM wants you to be able to check. Right?
Well, no. So I'm typically willing to let you check, but sometimes it'll be. It's more the nature of the character.
Yeah.
For instance, a lot of your adversaries, like the whole Romulan. Well, you guys weren't around for the Romulan, but if you're negotiating with a Romulan, trying to get an insight check on a Romulan, almost always going to be contested because they're duplicitous by nature.
Yep, absolutely.
I contest that statement. That's not.
Well,
we get all
it's a misconception.
Can we get all from Family Guy? It's like, I want to see how the Klingon's feeling. He's going to be mad. Thanks, Ollie.
He's not going to be happy. All right. So. All right. So Joran says, Captain Dekar, why don't you come to our village and rest? We can talk.
We would like that.
Okay.
Lead the way.
Well, follow us back. So you
meet
up.
Talk.
You meet up with the group, and then you all proceed back to the village. If you'd like to make small talk, feel free. If not, we can fast forward to getting to the village.
Just stating that small talk occurs, to sort of build rapport.
Sure.
Yeah.
Small talk. Oh, weather. Starship.
How about that local sports team?
Spaceship.
Hey, how about them Giants?
Where?
Not those giants.
Looks around up at the clouds.
Oh, clouds! Yes, yes, we have clouds. Wait, these aren't Pac-Mans.
We like atmospheric moisture.
We like our weather patterns. Makes the weather go.
It makes food grow.
So when's the last time it rained here?
We are keeping your engineer. He make food grow.
I'm giving you guys some momentum just because of that.
Good, we found the Packlet homeworld. That's something nifty. If we need a lull.
They oddly look like Trill.
Okay, so you're in the village. You see there's on the order of 30 buildings in this. Okay. So a lot of them look like homes. There's a few like a mill.
More practical.
Yeah, the practical things you'd see in a standard village needed for processing food. Now, this is a Federation colony, so actually not a mill, but there's yeah. Sorry, where's my head? There's kind of a central area for replicators. For food replicators. Of course, most homes have them, but there's a common gathering area. There's kind of like a town square, a community center building. There's so you guys are in the center of town, in the community center, and you actually, you could just be with Joron and Kirill if you wanted. They seem to be the leaders of the village, town. 6 and 1.
The nature of the plague is that it was medical research that they were doing, which is how the colony was funded, so to speak, or not funded in our traditional sense, but what prompted the colony and everything. It's
the impetus.
Right, that's the word. That's a good word for it. Yeah, so that's where the outbreak occurred. Obviously, my character doesn't know the nature of the outbreak itself. Like, is it something nefarious? Is it something that's just an accidental, whoops, forgot to carry the 2 when mixing these 2 things,
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But I am aware that it happened, the outbreak occurred at the medical facility. So, is that facility part of this town, part of this village? Because there wouldn't be like villages all over the planet. It's
right.
Probably there wouldn't be many.
Okay. Well, so go ahead and ask. Role play it.
Okay. What's his name again? The main
Joron.
Joron, is the medical research lab nearby?
Yeah. We haven't really gotten it going. Our doctor just got here last week. So we've had the building, but not really the lab. So
is that Dr. Rohn?
It is. How did you know?
I follow some of his papers. I've read some of his papers.
Interesting.
In character, I didn't say it quite so. Unconfident.
Yeah,
I did not show the lack of confidence.
Yeah. Do you have a first name for that doctor?
I haven't made one up yet.
Tobin, got it.
There we go. Sure.
Tobin Rohn.
Toblerone.
Tobin Rohn.
Oh, come on, make it Tobler.
Fine, Tobler.
Dr. Tobler Rohn at your service. Thank you. You can have one of our momentum for letting me have that.
Okay. You still have 4. You still have 4.
Yes.
I'll make a note of that. All right. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be willing to talk with you.
I'd like that at his earliest convenience.
Well, why don't I walk you over there as soon as we're done here, and I'll make the introductions.
Thank you.
I'm happy to answer more questions. I would like to know. You said you have this hunch, and I'm always curious. You're a Denobulan, right?
Indeed, I am. I just had a feeling like I was needed here.
Fascinating. I know that's a Vulcan word, but I've kind of appropriated the word for myself. It's a good word.
Indeed.
Well, they say that the stars align in odd timings. But it's unique for a Denobulan. I've never met a Denobulan in person, Captain. So you'll excuse my fascination with your facial features. As he's kind of
at that point, I do the Denobulan grin.
Oh, and he just looks bewildered at you. Vax kind of does a double take too.
Well, do feel free to ask me anything you like. I'm happy to share anything you'd like to know about me and my culture.
It's not so much your culture. I've read the historical documents, of course, and the species data. But it's more you, Captain, that fascinate me. Denobulan Captain. Your species typically aren't prone for violence, nor command. Typically, you're typically more healers and engineers. Are you not?
Generally, yes. I'm not the first Denobulan captain in Starfleet, but I am one of the few.
Of course, Starfleet's been around for a couple hundred years. I feel like every early species in Starfleet has had a captain at this point. But nevertheless,
even
congratulations.
Then, not many of my people have sought this position out, as you would expect.
Oh, true. There's a great burden with being a leader.
But also great reward.
Indeed. You get to watch people flourish.
And have a hand in that as well.
Yes. The ability to guide, to feel a sense of shared joy in their successes.
It's kind of akin to a form of healing in a sense. Instead of repairing someone's body, it's like you're helping progress the growth of their mind, their spirit, their own personal adventure.
Well said, Captain. Well said. So, on that note, shall we go meet Dr. Tobler?
Yes.
All right.
Wherever he may roam. Out of character. Out of character.
I'm gonna make a bad pun rule.
Okay, that's it. I quit.
It's just gonna give me threat. Every 2 bad puns gives me 1 threat.
Okay, you're gonna have about 100 by the end of each night if I'm around. I don't.
Excellent.
I don't know how I feel about that.
No. See, it's not just It's not puns. It's not even the bad puns. It's the worst of the puns.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a bad punishment.
See, that I just roll my eyes at.
Yeah.
You wait. It's like water on a pebble. You'll get weaker and weaker to them as time goes on.
Yes, but with the captain's last name being Rohn, there's only so much we'll ever be able to take.
Yeah, well.
All right.
So just quick out of character. So is the Ferengi equivalent of crime and punishment crime in Latinum?
No, taxes in Latinum.
That's
Greed?
the version of Snakes and Ladders, I think. It's taxes in Latinum.
Greed in Latinum?
Yes.
But they don't see it as greed. It's like bad guys don't see themselves as the villain. So
greed is the most noble of emotions.
Yeah, greed is not a negative thing in the
we
Ferengi
needed to hear
culture.
that in Vax's voice.
Greed is the most noble of emotions.
That's better.
Although Vax, oddly enough, doesn't really follow in greed. He does have instinctive instincts towards it, or he has a tendency, but not complete. It would have to be something really hard to ignore. Vax is more based on loyalties.
So his acquisition instincts are not towards wealth of monetary wealth, but more social professional wealth.
Yeah, and actually, when I was looking into the Ferengi attire, like headdresses and whatnot, Vax does not wear any of the Ferengi attire. He doesn't reject it. It's just he doesn't even feel that it is.
He's not drawn to that style.
He also thinks it would be insulting to the style, right? Because he is not the standard Ferengi.
He doesn't want to represent what he is not.
Exactly, we'll have to revisit one of your talents then, because you have the greed is eternal talent.
Yeah, but that might be a race thing, right? Like that.
Yes, but you can overcome your racial talents.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that and you could transmute it, like I said, not so much to monetary gain, but to something else, like some other target for his greed.
Yes, we can have it instead of financial gain, like contacts and stuff like that.
Yes, networking.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we can.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. You need to get rid of some self-sealing stem bolts? I know a guy.
Max can be the guy's guy.
Yeah. Who's the wise guy, huh?
You need a guy? I got a guy for that.
Only it's not a guy.
So Vax has now got to call Saul.
Yeah. You need a person. You need a thing for that? I got a thing.
Yeah, and you do know that the transporter is basically governed by those Heisenberg compensators. Okay, we're getting off track. Let's get back to this. So we're heading off to see Dr. Tobler Rohn.
Yeah. This is what happens when you put Canadians on a podcast.
Hey.
Wonderful good times.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Hold on while I eat my butterscotch pudding and my macaroni and cheese.
Butterscotch pudding is delicious.
It really is.
It is really good. I do tend to favor the pistachio.
I mean, I favor tapioca, but
just be careful of the dire bears in Canada. They're bears, but dire
bears. Oh.
All right. So you walk in and the Dr. Rohn,
I walk forward a little too excitedly and reach out with both hands as if to reach for a handshake, and with only the slightest denobulant grin on, like it's just barely wider than it should be for a normal humanoid.
Who are you? Joran.
I'm Captain Descartes. Captain Descartes.
Joran. Who? What? Why? And Joran just looks at Rohn. This is a Starfleet captain. He had an intuition, a need to be here. Rohn just goes, oh,
I jump in and say, my ship was in the neighborhood, and I had a hunch that this is where I needed to be.
I'm already behind. Starfleet didn't send me enough stuff. What do you need? What do you need?
Or rather,
Starfleet?
what do you need? How can I help? I have a starship in orbit. What do you need?
I need and he rattles off this huge supply list of things that he didn't get. Everything from microscopes to testing cylinders to.
I finger gesture like come here to Vax and point at Dr. Rohn, hoping that Vax gets the point that I mean to like take this down.
Captain, I look a little concerned as I, under my breath, mention to you, the temporal prime directive might be at play, Captain.
I look to him and sort of whisper, like, I don't think that's going to apply in this case.
If what has happened, it needs to follow its natural course.
Do as you're told.
Oh.
Or do as I ask.
Oh, how do I feel about that? I kind of give you a schmarmy look of like, oh, yeah, that's how it's going to be. But I grudgingly do what the captain's request. I start taking notes of all the equipment that is being listed.
I mean, you could be being intimidated. We could have a contested role here.
Oh, I could go for that. I would not be a. I would
well,
not.
I wasn't. I didn't say it from like an imposing kind of posture. It's just like.
It was you pulled.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Intimidated or threatened? I don't know. Do what you're told feels like intimidation.
It I could see it as like maybe if it failed.
It's a veiled threat.
But don't forget, I've got the smile on and like, so it's kind of like pouring through in that way. So yeah.
I don't know. I like the idea of you two going to a contested role. I want you both to contest your, let's say,
Reason command.
Okay, you get to make reason command.
Yeah.
And
what about
Vax? You get to make
or presence.
No,
presence
reason.
Command.
Okay. If you're saying you're trying to intimidate him, then it's presence.
Yeah, no.
You are trying. Actually, no. It is presence because you are asserting command.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so it's your presence command. Vax, it is going to be your presence command as well.
Okay.
But your dauntless talent kicks, so you get to add a bonus d20 for free.
Oh, okay.
Would follow my lead apply?
No.
Okay. Well, I've got 2 11s.
So you have 2 successes.
Okay. 17, 17, and 3.
Oh.
So the question is, I don't think your focuses apply, Vax. So you have 1 success. Okay, Captain, you have intimidated your chief engineer.
I'm pretty. I'm going to go with my original answer. I look grumpy about it, but I'm definitely going to do it. Like it's not. I'm not going to disobey a direct command as of yet.
For reference, I'm not going to make you guys do that, Captain, when you give an order, but when it's potentially defying something like
or it's a defining moment in the relationship between the characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're not trying to lay control over somebody else's role play. It's an actual pivotal hinge-pin event in the story arc, right? Like
right.
There is a difference.
Yeah, and don't forget the captain may be hiding it somewhat or rather well, but he's still unhinged.
Yes.
So
yeah, he's a little worried. Okay. So yeah, okay. So Vax, you start taking down notes of what to get him.
Mm-hmm. And then I start to, once that's done, I turn to the doctor and say, so you're working on such and such, right? Like the different sort of medical things that the character remembers that facility working on.
How did you know my work's supposed to be classified?
I'm a Starfleet captain. I have what's the word I'm looking for?
Clearance?
Not so much that is.
Connections?
No. Oh, God. I used to be so eloquent. My old age is robbing me of my words. I've been following your work, so I'm familiar with your lines of study.
It's rare to meet I'm not sure fan is the right word, but someone who appreciates my work.
Oh, but I do.
Well, tell me, Captain, how do you feel about genetic engineering?
Well, officially speaking, it's not permitted in the Federation, but at
off the record.
Yeah. Honestly, it is something that the Denobulans have been doing for millennia, and it's not necessarily natural in one sense, but it's a natural progression in the evolution of species.
And imagine the benefits that it could have on the Trill if we could make the Trill even better. The one downfall of the Trill people is our fragility.
Indeed.
So imagine if we could get rid of that.
Bolstering the immune system, strengthening their constitution, that would be a wonderful outcome.
Now you have something, Captain. Now you have a much better idea of what I'm trying to do here. And why my work is very important.
I turn to what's his name? Jobin?
Hold on. Joron.
I turn to Joron, or I just kind of look at him and I say, "Fascinating." And I turn to look back to the doctor. He
looks at you, shakes his head, and goes, "What? What is?"
Well, the throwaway on the comment.
But
yeah.
But you go, I don't know what this doctor's working on. I come in here to say hello and we eat a meal together every once in a while, but we don't talk work.
Don't talk shop.
I don't have clearance for his research. He didn't overhear what the doctor told you.
Oh, I know. I just say fascinating. Yeah. What? So
you've been dropped a bit of a bombshell.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that a Federation scientist or a Starfleet scientist is working on genetic engineering.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they didn't send his full supplies tells you that something more is due to arrive.
Mm-hmm.
or would be due to arrive. And you...
Well, the Starfleet captain in me, of course, is very concerned, but the Denobulan is excited at the prospect because, it's part of Denobulan history and society. But also, doing the duty, I'm trying to ingratiate myself to be friendly and to sort of, work my way in so that gain the trust of Dr. Rohn. So hopefully,
If you want to spend a momentum, I will give you some hints as to where you need to go from here.
Okay. Spent.
It would behoove you to have a conversation with Joron again, perhaps about potential shipments coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be good to have a conversation with Vax about that list of items.
Mm-hmm.
And what is actually on board the Loki.
Right. Aha. All right. So, after some time, just talking with Rohn and all that, let's say maybe advance to like a meal time or something, like a natural excuse to break off the visit and go back to the village.
Sure. Well, the doctor needs to keep getting set up.
Of course. So I'll say, well, keep up the good work, Dr. Rohn, and if you need anything, I'm just one comm away.
Okay. Thank you, Captain. It's been pleasant talking with you.
Indeed.
Look forward to speaking with you again.
As do I.
You are an interesting fellow.
And then I kind of hook my arm into Joron's and kind of scoop him away to head back toward the village and start chatting him up and saying, so, there's more shipments coming along? Tell me about those.
Yeah. The Cardassians are sending a shipment in. For reference, the Cardassians are an individual power at this point. They are, if anything, on friendly terms with the Federation. There is talk of them signing the Khitomer Accords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not the True Way offshoot or anything like that.
No, this is the legitimate Cardassian government. Everything on the up and up as far as you would know at this point.
Yeah, basically, rebuilding after the Dominion War and everything.
Yes, but for them to send a shipment, there's some things.
It's not normal, but it's not completely, unbelievable that they would do it. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, and maybe they have some specialized tech, that the doctor needs.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ferengi, we're sending something in that's due to arrive tomorrow morning. I don't quite know what's on board. We don't get a cargo manifest until they're here, but and the doctor, Dr. Rohn, he's not exactly the most forthcoming individual here, but
of course.
But he has his reasons for his research.
Indeed.
So I'm told, at least. I believe he's here for a purpose.
Well, I would like to avail Vax to you to assist with the transfer of goods, to help make sure that Rohn has everything looked after.
Oh, okay. Well, we have, another set of hands would be helpful.
So I pat my belly with both hands and say, I'm really looking forward to dinner time. I'm really quite peckish.
Peckish, you say? Yeah. Well, I'm sure we could find you something scrumptious to eat. Some stick to your ribs food, as the humans would say.
Nothing that would get in the way of a symbiont.
Well, of course not, but you know, we are eating for two.
Naturally.
Yeah, got to keep the energy up.
So as we're sort of heading back to the village, you know, kind of slow up a little bit, and you know, let Joran take a bit of a lead, and you know, I sidle along to Vax and give him a little bit of a reassurance talk. So Vax, the reason why I got you to do that earlier is, you know, temporal prime directive or not, we're here to gather information to figure out what's going on. As for what assistance we do offer, we're going to wait and see what's best at the time. For now, we're just gathering information. So, thank you for doing that.
Through narrowed little beady eyes, as long as it's for gathering information, not to alter outcomes of events. Right, Captain?
Of course not. Slight hesitation in the speech there. Speaking of information, what exactly is on that list?
Okay, so science equipment, no doubt. Anything unusual stick out to me? Although I'm not a scientist, but I might know by inventory lists.
He'll know what the innocuous stuff is. So anything that isn't just standard generic.
Yeah.
Give me an insight. An insight
Medicine?
engineering. Yeah, insight engineering. Actually.
Yeah, medicine would probably just go straight over my head anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on whether the content of the list is mostly medical.
But there's some engineering stuff here.
Oh, cool. I just need some hypo sprays, microscope.
Okay. So this is going to be a difficulty 3 roll.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and like 8 pounds of antimatter.
Yeah. What?
So you Devin is going to assist you with his insight medicine.
Okay.
I would thought I would be the one assisting since he and I are working on this.
Okay, then you're assisting with your insight medicine.
Okay. Just given that we're doing like the tight hush conversation.
Okay, that's fine.
Right?
So if you would like to buy an extra die before you roll, then you let me know.
What's the difficulty again?
3.
3? And so I'm rolling 1, he's rolling 2. Yeah, let's spend a momentum for 1.
Okay.
So I'll roll 2, he'll roll 2?
No, Nick, you roll 1.
I roll 1, he rolls 3.
Yes.
Okay. I'll roll an extra dice.
Okay. Ooh, I rolled a 17. I needed to get 15 or less.
Yep. Vax?
5, 9, and 3.
Ooh, glad you rolled better than I did.
That sounds like 3 successes to me.
Yep.
So, Vax, you look through the list, and you're seeing things like genetic sequencers, a lot of things that would be consistent with genetic engineering.
Captain, most of these items are contraband in the Federation. We can't even provide these legally to him.
Well, those kind of things aren't necessarily illegal. Like, most med bays have these devices.
Genetic manipulation.
Well,
they're tools. They can be used for many things, both legal and illegal.
Shows a photon torpedo underneath somebody's bed. Right tool for the right job aside. It's how it's going to be used that concerns me.
Out of character. Hey, my other bed was too lumpy. The prince, instead of the princess and the pea, it's the captain and the torpedo.
I was going to bring that up. The torpedo. How did you sleep tonight, Captain? Pretty good.
It was quantum.
It was quantum.
Oh,
I love my quantum-pedic bed.
Vax, the other thing that stands out to you, 2 bioneural gel packs.
Now, those are the same thing that Voyager had, was it not?
And the Hadfield. Voyager, the Intrepid class has them. The Luna class has them. Most of the new ship classes are rolling out with bioneural gel packs.
New ship classes. Is this an invention yet? Is this known technology as of timeline?
Of course. It's just after.
It is Starfleet tech.
This is not something civilians should have. Absolutely not. This is not something most of Starfleet has access to unless they have, the higher authorities or assignments.
So, but okay, out of character, what would the ramifications be if civilians had access to these?
So bioneural gel packs themselves are fairly innocuous. Essentially, they're an evolution of data transfer.
Yeah, because they sped up Voyager's ability for communications. Right?
Think of something between like an isolinear chip or a thumb drive and the computer itself. It's not like a computer brain, organic, and it's not just it's not like the storage device, but it's kind of in between the two.
Okay,
but your kind of insight,
they're like neurons or something, I think.
Your insight into what he might want to use them for is as a growth bed.
Yeah.
Okay. So I look at the captain with
it's biotech, basically.
Yeah. Vax's little beady eyes looking are you kidding me kind of look. And as I point to the inventory of bioneural gel packs, it's like, yes, and these can't grow you any kind of genetics you want at a whim.
Yeah, you
look to Vax and go, and you would know this how?
It's engineering, and I point at my vest.
Do you not know what the yellow means?
Starships galore.
As
clashes along the way had them. I had to fix them. So yes, you know what these are used for.
As Devin goes, hey, wait a minute, I'm in yellow too.
Yellow buddies.
and I have no idea what it means.
150 years ago, I'd be in yellow.
Well, actually, 50 years ago, you'd probably be in that, Wrath of Khan red.
That's why I said 150.
Oh, 150. Okay. So
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Aside from that, you actually do notice a photon torpedo on the list. It's a very old mark of torpedo. Like it's like so old. Yeah, it's like a Mark IV. And you guys right now are using like Mark 11s.
So if we're just going to ignore genetic augmentation, I guess we're just going to ignore the Federation's, no trades of arms deals. If we're just ignoring stuff now,
we're ignoring nothing of the sort. He's a lieutenant. Is he lieutenant or lieutenant commander?
Lieutenant junior grade.
Just lieutenant, yeah.
Yeah.
We're ignoring nothing of the sort, Lieutenant. Remember, information gathering. The more we know, the better prepared we are to deal with whatever happens.
Yeah.
We're not about to hand over a photon torpedo.
Captain, what you know from talking with Dr. Rohn Moore is that he gave you a list of everything that he was supposed to be provided.
Right.
He's not looking for all of this. He basically recited the list of what he's missing. Right. Full disclosure.
Meanwhile, from my perspective, it's like, I'm just building a new family-friendly car. I just need steel, aluminum, some plastic, nuclear waste, Mr. Fusion, a rocket propulsion device, and a battering ram. Oh, and tires. I need tires. Goodyear specifically.
And a couple of hand grenades while you're at it.
Yeah. It's a combustion engine.
And maybe a supercomputer.
I need a circle of grenades, and I need a personal force field in the center to envelop the grenades, and controlled explosion, and I need a temporal wave guide inverter so we keep that explosion kind of in an inert, a frozen state, so we can just trickle the energy off it in perpetuity.
Meanwhile, the government official's eye is twitching horrendously at this list.
Vax, you do notice a line there that you can't decipher. It's some medical jargon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got briefly disconnected there. I'm back.
Sorry. Vax notices a line in the inventory that's medical jargon.
I ask, the security officer with us has the highest medical rank amongst us, right? The medical skill?
Yes. The captain's of no help. Because...
So I look at him and just go, so what is this item on the list that is requested? I can't... What is this? What is this? I can't understand I don't even know if I wrote it down right because I have no idea what this is.
Let me see.
As I hand him my data pad.
Oh, that? Don't worry about that. That's not useful for anything. It's just used to control, motor functions.
Oh. Blink, 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 blink.
I won't even try to pronounce it. We used it in the Resistance to fight the Cardassians. It was just kind of a neurotoxin of sorts.
Oh, a neurotoxin. This is wonderful. Some sort of organic goo that can, communicate with cells in the body, and it's also toxin. Yes. Oh,
I never said organic.
Oh, this gets more wonderful by the second. I just.
Oh,
it was pointing at the data pad. This is like his hand in the cookie jar. I was like,
it was highly effective against the Cardassians.
This is like giving Voldemort every wand in existence kind of level of in my mind.
Voldemort?
Out of character, of course.
Yeah, but Devin looks at you and goes, Voldemort?
Michael Keaton is Voldemort. Voldemort.
Don't make me summon him. I will drop him on this game.
Hey, I'm the wizard with the most, baby.
Captain, the proverbial breadcrumbs lead to a house made of gingerbread laced in toxins and torpedoes.
I'm so glad you're here, man.
Vax, 0 skills, excellent roleplay.
I wouldn't say 0 skills.
No, definitely not.
He's
got
2. He notices stuff, unless he's covering his face from a biohazard threat. Then he notices nothing.
2 colors and 15 pence. Anyway, that's a bit outside. So we spend the rest of the walk just sort of discussing how, Vax, how absurd this list is, and concern for what's going on.
Yeah.
And the captain just kind of assuring him, just information. Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep walking. Just keep walking.
Just keep smiling, Vax. Don't look like you know something. Just come on, play cool.
Yeah. So just for any medical nerds, we're going to call this N-probyl bromide.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing on the list. But to Vax and the... It's a real thing.
Why do I think I've heard that before? And why do I think it's a major, oh God, no. But Vax has no clue whatsoever.
So it's a common dry cleaner, spray adhesive, degreaser, and aerosol solvent. It's linked to several neural injury and Occupational Safety and Health Administration has issued adamant warnings against neurotoxicity of it.
Meanwhile, Vax is like, derp, it's a chemical.
Yeah, it's a neurotoxic.
It comes in barrels, which I can sell.
You might as well be juggling balls of mercury.
I mean, you could.
Vax is just cool. How much latinum per barrel?
So if you guessed, you'd probably think that the Cardassians were bringing that in, and that the Ferengi might be bringing the torpedo.
The torpedo. Yep. Had that pegged.
So, if you want to talk with the doctor, we can do that at meal. Otherwise, I suggest that we fast forward to the next day.
Fast forward.
Okay, so it's the next day. It's the next day. You stay in the village. They have housing arrangements for visitors. And it's early morning, and there's a Ferengi ship that has cargo, and they have started offloading it. It's all just in cargo containers marked Dr. Rohn.
Have they given much resistance in allowing Vax to assist them in that process?
No, not at all.
Good.
Vax.
Me.
How are your skills with the other Ferengi?
I would personally say I would be able to negotiate, chat. I could relate to them, just not on a personal goal level.
Okay.
Like they would be more about, I must get profits and I must further. And I'd be like,
okay, liken this to a Star Trek fan socializing with a sports fan.
Yeah, exactly.
They understand each other. They can connect on certain points. But when it comes to nerding out or sportsing out, it's just like,
their goals are going to be very different in life, but they can understand. I can understand where they're coming from, and I can also talk on their level. I would know.
Gotcha.
What they would. I might not agree with what they're doing.
Yeah,
but
I gotcha. So.
Yeah. So how about all that gun running, eh?
So this ship is the Litigator.
Nice.
It is captained by... I have a name for this somewhere. It is a Decora class.
Yeah.
And it is Captain Brasha.
It's like a captain or like a daemon?
She goes by captain.
Okay. Mind the crinkling.
Oh, I'm minding it. I'm counting each and every crinkle.
Ooh. Nibs.
Oh, nibs are the best.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cherry Twizzler nibs. Yum, yum.
So, that is who you are dealing with.
A wondrous joy.
Okay. What's that name again? I just want to write it down.
Brasha.
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 Thank you. So, Kurt, I sent Vax to be there. I'm not there myself.
Yeah.
I would be like in the village with Jerome and then with the doctor on the other side of the reception. So when the goods arrive, I will be with the doctor. At least that's my intention.
Okay. Okay, so Vax, you're in the staging area on the planet. Goods are being beamed down. It's not safe for the goods to be beamed directly into the medical facility.
Okay.
You're not entirely sure why, because that would be standard operating procedure. It seems as though the medical facility has shielding, or has structural integrity. Maybe not shields, but has something that's preventing direct transport.
Okay. So there would be interference of some kind.
Yeah, your staging area is...
Yeah, have Koss do like a tricorder scan of the place.
Yeah.
Just get a general, like, where are all the exits kind of thing. What kind of security measures do you detect? Things like that.
Yep. Yeah, he finds all of those things. And yeah, he knows exactly where everything is and can tell you whatever you would like to know. There's 2 exits or entrances on the ground floor. It's a several story building. Let's say a 3-story building.
First thing I say is, please send that all the results of your scan to my tricorder, so I have access to them.
Yeah, and he just passes it along. Taps a few buttons on the tricorder.
If you don't mind me fast forward through the course of the previous evening, if we synchronized our tricorders so that any information any of them glean is immediately transmitted to the other.
Sure.
And they ping each other, so if any of them goes offline or get shielded or anything, that we'll know that the other tricorder is out of communication, and we'll get kind of like an alert.
Okay.
Thanks.
I can set that up. That's actually a nice story moment.
Cool.
So, all right. Vax, you have heard of Captain Brasha.
Okay. What are my feelings towards her?
I'm concerned.
Oh, good.
She has been one that, more so than any other Ferengi you've ever met or heard of, she is willing to do anything for Latinum.
Oh, she's my polar opposite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you two are on opposite sides.
Oh, wonderful.
She... the fact that she's captain is highly unusual in Ferengi culture. Remember,
because females are always put down to the lowest degree.
Yeah, Ferengis are misogynists.
Well, females weren't even supposed to have jobs or
clothing,
other than like service kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
No clothing, no jobs of note.
Which that is also one thing that sets Vax apart. He's more Federation than anything else. He believes in the equality of everything. All life is important. All life has meaning. So this is again something that puts him aside from Ferengi lore.
Yeah. So Vax, you don't know much more about Brasha other than she kind of went off the map to Ferengi, to Ferenginar for a couple of years because she wasn't getting anywhere. And then she came back and she had her own ship. But when she came back, she's kind of played by the rules. So you've seen.
At least on the surface.
At least on the surface. If she's not playing by the rules, she's certainly paying the right people.
Yeah.
You're not the right people.
No, definitely not.
You're not in a position to be paid to look the other way. So the fact that she's here is setting off some alarm bells for you, though. It's definitely the fact that Dr. Rohn wants a torpedo, that you think that the Ferengi were the ones delivering a torpedo, and then that she's the one delivering a torpedo. The dots are lining up, and you're kind of going, I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, all this is very, very concerning.
Yeah. So, So you can go from there.
Okay. Now, has she arrived yet, or is
no. She's on board her ship.
Okay.
The ship's in orbit. The ship is just transporting goods down to the planet. They've sent down, let's say, 2 officers, just to make sure everything's going smoothly.
Is it the security officer? Is he with me, or is it? Am I solo?
Captain?
Vax is solo.
Because I'm pretty much just
with me.
I'm just monitoring cargo, right? That's pretty much that's my just making sure it gets into the facility.
You are out in town, right? So if somebody were to shoot you or take you, you'd have a lot of witnesses.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm assuming the cargo is being beamed down and then manually delivered to the facility?
Yeah, so beamed down, put on anti-grav carts. I don't know if you'd call them carts, but anti-grav units, and then
just hauled over.
And hauled to the.
Are the people moving the goods Ferengi?
Yes, the 2 officers that beam down they're taking turns moving the goods.
As I watch their movements, seeing where they are being beamed down before they start their cart and back and forth, I place eventually myself in the path to be walking towards them, looking like it's just a casual day. I'm walking down the street and I just chance bump into them.
Okay. The one you kind of recognizes you and goes, what do you want, Starfleet?
Oh, come on. We're all Ferengi here. What's with a little bit of latinum in our pockets? Am I right?
Your uniform says differently.
Hey. Occupation is an occupation. Just because the Federation doesn't believe in profits doesn't mean I'm any different. In fact, sometimes the greatest opportunities are on a starship.
Well, I'm on a starship. I'm making profit.
Oh. Who's your captain?
That would be Captain Brasha.
Oh, aren't you so lucky? She is one of the finest. No, I don't hold down vomit. The character, I vomit in my throat a little bit. She is one of the finest at generating profits. Your coffers must be overflowing. The Nagish must be thrilled at all your endeavors.
She truly is. She is the finest captain I've ever served with. We always have work.
Tell you what, I'm a little bit busy right now. And I point at my uniform and roll my eyes. My captain needs me to scan things.
Tell me.
That aside, non-profits aside, you gotta keep the illusions up that I care about such things. The cleanliness of the air, Federation mumbo jumbo, but sure, Captain. Let's check carbon emissions. Sure. So, tell you what, I've got a few latinum lying around that on a starship I have no purpose for. Let me after your shift is done, let me get you a drink and let's talk about Captain Brasha. Because you must have amazing stories to be told.
The captain runs a tight ship. As soon as I'm done, she wants to leave. We have business elsewhere.
I pull out 2 slips of latinum and just kind of jingle them in his face. What's one drink? Surely you can spare 5 minutes. Maybe even between cargo shipments.
I guess I can be slow about this.
Exactly. What's one drink? Especially something that's free. Because remember, you can always sell something for free. And what's your moment of your time, really?
My time is valuable, but you have compensated me well.
Exactly.
He reaches and takes the slips of latinum, slips it into his right pocket, and
I pull out 2 more.
Walks.
Drinks are on me, and I put them back in my pocket, and I just like, I'm trying to gesture. Oh, no, you are not going to pay for your own drink. This is all on me. Like, like. The local pub or the local drinking area, whatever it be, I say, show in like, say, 10, 15 minutes, we just meet up over there and we can just regale on how fantastic your profits have been.
Okay, Vax.
Now does he? I have not dropped my name, right? He knows who I am.
He knows who you are.
So, do I have to roll something to try not to be surprised that, oh God, he knows my name?
It depends on how you want to play it. If you want to make that roll, sure. If you want to play it where you don't reveal it, sure. And if you want to play it where you completely reveal your surprise, then sure. I'll let you make that call.
Well, okay, what if you give me a roll to see, because this is going to be quite jarring. Like, I'm just talking to Ferengi grunt number 5 here, and all of a sudden he knows my name. It's going to take me off guard. Like, shit, cat's out of the bag, right?
Uh-huh.
So what would you like me to roll to see if I can maintain a kind of
composure?
Yeah,
it's a composure roll. So it is your it's your presence,
okay,
plus your security.
Plus security. Okay, so 2 dice.
Yeah, this will be a difficulty. I'll say difficulty 2.
Okay.
Since
you know what?
Since this might legitimately catch you off guard. So.
Yep. And that's the thing. I would like the dice to decide whether or not I keep my composure.
And difficulty 2 really does let the dice decide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have a 14 and a 1.
Wow.
Can you guys roll worse? On things that don't necessarily matter, can you stop critting?
Oh, trust me. When the Klingon tries to stab me in the face with a bat left, that is when I'm going to roll 20.
You're taking
double 20s.
Double 20s. That's when the double 20s will show up.
Yeah.
Not only does he successfully stab you in the teeth, but then you turn and he gets your eye too.
Yeah, exactly. I turn into the blade rather than away from.
Yeah. Okay. So you have an internal moment of, wait, what? How did he? I never said Vax.
Also, from the context, this is a year and a half in the past.
Uh-huh.
That means he knows a year and a half ago.
Uh-huh.
So this means it is the dirt poor scrapyard wholesaler Vax that he knows.
A year and a half ago, aren't you running the station? Your station?
Yeah. The station was in my ownership right from the get-go.
Okay. Are you not in the... Right. Never mind.
Yeah. Now, this depends on how big of a gap you're going to...
Backstory.
Yes. Well, yeah. Backstory and maybe an alternate dimension, so I didn't want to go there.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you hold it together. You present a very calm front.
And I pat him on the shoulder, smile, and say, "More profits to behold. Don't keep me waiting." And I kind of just trot off, looking all,
Gemp never keeps people waiting.
So yeah, I go to our arranged meeting location.
Okay. Gemp is there.
So, I wave at whoever is running the establishment. Barkeep, 2 of your finest drinks over there. And I twirl the 2 latinum pieces. Like, I've got money.
Oh, he takes 1 slip for the 2 drinks.
Perfect. So I pass the drink over, being as hospitable as possible. So Brasha, she's fallen off the radar for a year. That's a name that I haven't heard in forever. I'm glad that she hasn't gone out of business. She's the finest I ever knew.
We've done quite well for ourselves.
Do tell. I would love to hear your stories.
Well, I can't tell all. As you well know, the greatest thing of value a Ferengi has is information.
Absolutely. And but information, who are you going to sell it to? A Vulcan? Those are the only people who are really hungry for that kind of thing.
Well, as the humans say, knowledge is power.
Ah, the humans. They know so much. They are.
And yet so little.
They are so blindsided by gadgets and trinketry and uniforms. They don't know exactly what it's like out there in the fringes. They have no perspective.
Well, I'll let you in on a secret.
Oh.
Brasha found people who were interested in bending treaties of war.
As he says this, I have my data pad on my lap, tricorder, whatever, and I actually hit the button so the other 2 can hear in on this conversation. Starting right when he said, "I'll let you in on a secret."
Okay.
Roll to see if it's noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
trying to keeping it under the table, of course. It's on my lap.
Yeah.
Hitting just a button or 2.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it on mute because that would be foolish.
Yeah, of course. This Ferengi is as blind as a bat.
Yes, that works for bats.
He rolled 18, 19, and 7.
Trade. Trade?
Well, you see, there is always a market for things that may or may not be legal. Depends on who you ask.
The most illegal things are the most profitable because not many have it in their little hands. But they're always full of latinum for you.
And Brasha may have an employer in it.
Brasha? An employer? She always seemed like the type that worked alone. Has she changed her ways?
Well, how else do you think she got a ship on her own?
That is true. I never question those who have latinum, but I get curious from time to time. And this sounds like a decent explanation for a lot of things. But you never bite the hand that gives you a flow of latinum.
Oh, no. Never.
So I notice his drink is starting to run a little bit low. And again, I wave, "Barkeep, another. My friend is thirsty. What is keeping
Vax.
And I wave, like, no, this drink, I'm like waving. This drink's for you. Like, if you, I am giving you this. Like, don't try to stop me.
You are too kind.
You were out
picks
out
up
there.
the mug and drinks a hearty drink.
You were out there making real latinum. You are what the heart of Ferenginar is. Not lost on any dim causes.
Make an insight command.
Okay.
Yeah, make an insight command roll. This is going to be a contested roll.
Okay.
And as always, you can spend momentum for more dice.
I should be okay. I might want to save the momentum for something a little bit more dire, but so far I've rolled a 12 and a 7.
So that's what? Oh, that's your command. Your I said insight command. Yeah, that's 2 successes. Great. He only got 1. So, you notice he's starting to get tipsy.
Wonderful. Sure.
Gemp cannot hold his liquor.
Apparently not.
He's getting a little gimpy.
Sure. Where are you going after this? Like, this is just a small delivery. You drop stuff off, you get paid. Scientists always have money, blah, blah, blah. Where are you going after this? There's got to be some other great frontier.
Well, I don't know where. I'm not high enough up for them to tell me where. But I looked in the cargo bay last night because I was curious.
Oh, of course. You got to know where your profits are coming from. Sell for hire.
There's any good Ferengi knows. You got to know what you have to sell.
Exactly. And then sell it for twice the price.
More. We have some biogenic. And at that point, he just collapses on the bar, passed out drunk.
I pat him on the head and walk outside. And I pull up the tricorder. Captain, did you receive that?
Yes. I heard.
The Ferengis are not playing nicely.
They have their hands in many pies. I'd be surprised if they didn't have one in this one.
Captain, if an
opportunity
arises, would I be able to beam aboard their ship and look further? If an opportunity arises.
I mean, you could certainly try, but
I need you here on the planet Vax. I appreciate your initiative. Just do what you can from here.
I can find on their main computer cores quite quickly any insidious transmissions in a heartbeat.
And
well,
Devin,
see if he has.
And if they find you, I know what people do to trespassers, especially
friend there has
weapon dealers.
This is in character. See if your friend there has, a tricorder pad or some sort of device. Maybe you could link to the computer, pretend to be him.
Understood, Captain. So I go back in the bar, and
he left. Okay.
Oh, he left.
Yeah.
No. He's passed out on the bar.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stepped outside because I didn't want everybody in the bar to hear the transmission between you and me. So I go back.
Well, the three.
Yes, yeah. So I go back in the bar and it's like, sorry about this, barkeep. Do you mind if I take care of him for a second? Do you mind his stool being occupied for just a little bit while he recovers?
He just gives you a motion and a nod, and it's like, take him outside.
As you wish.
He's not my problem.
I absolutely. I am.
He's not paying anymore, so he's not my problem anymore.
I am sorry. I am overstayed.
It's like, just get him out of here.
I help him up and take him out the front door. Arm over my shoulder, kind of carrying him, and I take him to a back alley.
Roll to see if he even has the ability to stand, let alone walk with you.
It's true. This might be. Am I carrying him on my side or am I dragging him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, so you're able to drag him. Okay, I'm not going to make you roll for that.
Cold. He is out.
He when I said he's passed out, he's passed out.
He is out. Okay. So I drag him outside, apologizing to everybody that, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah. And so I take him out.
My friend cannot hold his liquor.
I drag him out, take him around maybe a back alley somewhere, if there's a nice inconspicuous spot to kind of prop him up.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps this is not going to cause any trouble whatsoever.
Oh, no.
So, is there a spot where it can kind of just be inconspicuous, just kind of keep him there where there's no...
You can take him down a back security roll.
Do a what?
A daring security roll.
Okay. This is going to be rough.
And I'm not going to tell you the difficulty now. I just want to know the number of successes you get.
Okay, 8 and 5.
Can you stop? Like, all my story arcs are just dying. They're coming up and they're dying.
Hey, you can impose your will.
I probably
things just happen.
I know I can spend 2 threat to create advantage anytime I want, but
yeah,
it's more fun to have you roll for stuff.
It's true.
Yeah,
but some campaigns just can't open doors.
Mm-hmm.
You guys just can't have anything go wrong until you're trying to
the luck of the Irish.
Okay, so you drag Gemp down the alley.
Okay.
He notices, or if they do notice, they don't care.
The local civilians just don't care.
Tell me,
it's basically any onlookers are just like, yeah, one more drunk getting dragged home.
Yeah,
and more they're kind of looking at you guys going, oh, Ferengi.
Drunken Ferengi.
Well, okay. And it's it's a colony too. Trill, by their nature, don't handle liquor very well either. And after stressful days, they're gonna, some of them are gonna want to get drunk. So it's probably very in character for the place.
Somebody would probably care if this wasn't too Ferengi.
Yeah. So now that I have them in a inconspicuous location, probably with some cover like barrels or whatever alley stuff behind a dumpster, I really don't care. I start trying to look for data pads, anything that I can use to link up with the ship.
Sure, you find a data pad.
Okay. I surface wise, I just go to the most recent links and just start reading.
See what he's been working on and accessing.
You're going to have to make I'm going to say this is a control engineering roll.
Okay, so that's not bad. That gives me a 15. 9 and 2.
Okay, just breathing right now. Sometimes it's harder to create the story for successes than failures.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But failures bring the spice to the campaign.
Oh yeah. So you see a bit of a list of their recent deliveries.
Okay, I take all
planets, this data. Yeah, planets, stuff like that. You story off of it.
Okay, but I get location.
From what you can gather at that point, Gemp is their navigator.
Okay.
Knew what was in the cargo bay is him sneaking around. His standard job.
Okay.
So, if you'd like to do more, then you're going to need to make another roll.
You betcha. All right. Oh!
This one will be, hold on. This one will be daring engineering.
Oh! Okay.
And it will be difficulty 3.
So, I've already rolled, so I've already committed.
You can scrap the roll. Because now I'm telling you stuff. That will,
are you sure?
So it never happened.
Okay.
What did you do? Roll a 20?
Pretty darn
because I know nothing. I know nothing, so I'm telling you just scrap it. Okay. So it's difficulty 3. If you want to spend momentum, go ahead. I'm telling you that I'm going to spend a threat to raise the complication range. So that will now be 19 and 20 is a complication.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to spend another threat to make it 18, 19, 20 is a complication.
Dare I spend... How many momentum do we have? 3?
4.
4. Do you want me to spend a momentum right now?
You can also
go
give
for it.
Me, yeah.
Because this might lead to something good. It might not. Who knows?
I've already said go ahead.
Okay, cool. I'll add an extra.
Sounds like you're waiting on it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So 3 dice?
Yep.
Okay. So 19, 14, and 8.
So that's 2 successes and a complication.
Yep. So it was bound to happen. There's a 19 for you, Dave.
All right. So this is the best kind of complication because it's not involved in a success.
Okay.
So you're trying to get more information. Either get into their cargo manifest, get into some logs. As you're trying to delve deeper into the computer, you get a warning notification followed by a lockout, and then communicator goes off. And it is Brasha de Gemp report.
I immediately transfer all data that I've acquired and send it through my data pad to the other 2 immediately as I'm trying to contact her. So it is now a 2-way communication that's going on right now? I can reply as I'm like...
She has called Gemp.
Yes, but can I reply on his method of communication?
You could hit his communicator, yeah.
Okay, so as I'm transmitting the data to make sure that everybody's on the same page as me, as what I've discovered, I hit his communicator and put on my best Ferengi smile, trying to get into the mood and try to hold down my lunch and my alcohol. Brasha! It's Vax! How are you?
Vax? Oh, no.
Brasha!
Where's Gemp?
So, minor hookup with Gemp. I had to catch up with... I had to catch up with some Ferengis, and I offered him a drink, and I didn't know he was not able to hold his alcohol. So he's just passed out right now. He had 2 drinks, and it's a great thing that you called, because I was wondering, how am I going to get a hold of you guys to take your crew member back to your ship? And this is just convenient. This is wonderfully convenient. I was looking through his data pad, trying to find a way, and this is just perfect.
Why do I have the feeling that I'm going to be taking tonight for this headache, Vax?
Hey, Brasha, when you make as much latinum as you do, who cares about a headache? The Negus would be proud of everything you are doing.
She spits at the Negus.
I know, but I'm proud of you, Brasha. I'm proud of you. I know I don't amount to much, but I look up to you.
You don't amount to anything, Starfleet.
But I look up to you as a shining of example of what I could be if I applied myself in the proper areas, not with these filthy humans.
Give me a present man roll.
Would negotiation help with this? Maybe not.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Negotiation for a focus.
Yeah.
Does that add anything, or is it?
No. So that lets 2s and 3s also be crits.
Okay. So I am keeping the line.
Focus turns your discipline in crit instead of just 1s.
Okay. So I'm keeping the line of communication open to the security and the captain as well, that in case I get, captured, they will know immediately of what has happened to me. So I'm going to roll now.
Oh, yeah.
With a 2 and a 16. Kind of opposite ends of the spectrum there.
2 successes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, you're well, because the negotiation, the 2.
Right.
It's under your command or it's equal to or less than your command.
Yeah.
So then it becomes a crit. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So well, Vax, when you put it that way, I do make a lot of money, and I make a lot of money. I stopped listening to you after that.
There's nothing else important after that. Well, except for filthy humans. There's that. But that's just knowledge. That's just known information. There's nothing new. So, Brasha, don't listen to what anyone says. You are phenomenal. You are absolutely phenomenal. And you know what I ignored, Brasha? Rules of acquisition. A Ferengi with no profits is no Ferengi at all. And you are correct. I am lesser than less. I make no profits. I chose to be with the humans in order to backstab them and make profits. But where has that landed me? You're the smart one, Brasha. You know exactly what to do. I'm jealous.
Well, Vox, just stand clear of Gemp. We'll transport him up.
Absolutely.
Now that we know what happened to him, stupid Gemp.
I got him by the back alley by the what's this tavern? The squeaky trill. Whatever. I guess they don't drink much here. Anyways, he's in the back alley. I kind of kept him out of the way. That way people won't pick through his artifacts or anything. Just he's safe. He's comfortable. He's there for when you need to pick him up. Ooh, Brasha. Would you like our medical officer to take a look at him? Would you like that, or would you like just leave him as is?
Just leave him be. He'll be fine.
Absolutely, Brasha. Absolutely, as you wish.
Deal with him.
Absolutely. Hey, what ship are you running these days, Brasha? It's, those sublight engines on the Decorah, they tend to get a little cranky at times. If you would like, I could work my fine touches on those conduits that it has, and maybe I could get you a little bit more speed out of them for a little less energy.
What's your price, Vax?
Oh, price. This might be foolish of me, but I respect you so much, Brasha. I'm willing to do this one pro bono, for free. All for you. Just promise you might have just a little bit more respect for me, maybe, in the future, but honestly, free of charge, because I can say that I helped the great Brasha with her issue. If there is even an issue. But I guarantee you I probably can get those Brasha conduits running at a squeaky clean pace.
Okay, she's going to make an insight check against you.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. That's coming.
Would you like to contest this?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So it'll be your I'm going to say your control command.
Okay.
Versus her insight.
Okie dokie.
How did I not give stats to Brasha? Okay, well. I know what I want. Okay.
All right. I have a 6 and a 14.
So that is... I said it's your control command, is what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you only have one success.
Yes.
Okay, so she got 2.
Yeah.
Perhaps another day, Vax. We have deliveries to make. I have no doubt at your engineering acumen, but we must be going soon.
Say no more, Brasha. Say no more. You have profits to make. You have acquisitions to sell. This is your job. I respect you for it. Oh, if you ever stop by my shipyard, be sure to get those engines looked at. Cheaper cost saves you latinum. If I can save you just a little bit of fuel, all the better. But I will not keep you any longer. I shall let you go.
Thank you, Vax. I look forward to our next meeting.
So I close the communications, walk away, and I breathe a heavy sigh of that went better than I thought.
Captain! It's up to you now.
Yes. All right.
After all of that, we kind of find time as much as you want so you can react to maybe the cargo coming in, Dr. Rohn starting to unload stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever you want to pick up, that's where we can start. If you don't have a place you'd like to start, I will pick up in the present.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. So, the other Ferengi grunt, we'll call him Trank. Got a Ferengi name generator, I'm sorry.
Trunk.
No, just Trank.
No, his nickname is Trunk.
Oh, yeah.
Trank is his real name.
He's built like one, so. He can also fit inside of one.
For totally drunk. No.
He brings in the last load and goes, "Okay, doctor, that's the last of it. I just need you to sign here." And doctor walks over and just scribbles a signature real quick and goes, "It's odd that I have to sign for something, but okay. I
Usually
guess you have your reasons."
Well, yeah. Frankie used thumbprints.
Well, Russia is different.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
you're lucky, Russia.
Their way.
Use pen and paper.
Those poor trees. Those poor inkworms.
she used to use pen and paper. Then Trump came along. Convinced her to stop. Trunk was relieved at that.
To get with the 24th century.
Well, there is some merit to pen and paper, but overall, it's just easier to have everything digital. Trunk is confused why we have conversation about pen and paper.
Isn't it interesting how digital leaves a paper trail more than paper does?
Yes. Trunk talks about himself in third person. Trunk is just hired grunt.
Thank you, Trunk.
Trunk, go now. Trunk will be fun if we ever come back to him.
Sounds like Zothras.
I'm having fun with Ferengi.
They're the best, aren't they?
Not the one.
I might have more fun with Klingons, but I think they might hurt my throat a little less.
Yeah.
But outside of that, yeah. So now, Dr. Rohn, so Captain, do you think you and your mighty fine security officer can give me a hand unloading this stuff? With the three of us, we can probably get this done in the next 20 minutes.
Happy to help.
All right.
Make a gesture like rolling up the sleeves without actually doing it.
If you two can work on those boxes over there, he points to the ones way on the right. I'll take care of these two boxes over here on my left.
So, was he gesturing to which two of us?
You and
Koss?
And Koss, yeah.
Yeah. So Vax is here yet, or
no? Vax.
Oh, this is all meanwhile.
Yeah, I mean Vax is still in the center of town. So, okay. If Vax wants to start walking towards the medical facility,
I'd probably just hang out in town until I'm called away from my post. Because this is where I was stationed. So unless I'm called over, I'll resume what I was doing before.
For the record, I'm a little confused with the disconnect here because Vax was supposed to be overseeing, from this side, the transfer, so he should have been arriving with this stuff.
Well, he was having a drink with Gemp.
Right, so I must have heard things wrong because I thought that was after the delivery that they left.
It was... So, Gemp took a break from delivery. Okay. Trunk finished everything off. The intention was Gemp was just gonna take a break and then come with the last load.
Right.
But then he didn't make it.
Drunk. He sloshed.
In fact, his last drink may have been spiked. Just a shot.
Vax have a little wink, nudge moment with the. With the bartender, maybe beforehand.
I did not think that was sure.
I thought 2 strips of platinum in the air was the universal signal for spike my friend's drink.
Yeah,
I don't know the skill culture, but it worked to my advantage.
The bartender. If you ever have a conversation with that bartender, he will deny everything.
Oh, good.
Truly.
It's like, I don't spike anyone's drink here.
Or just say, of course I spike them. All our ice is shaped like spikes. Tall glasses, it's a more even cooling system.
Yes. So, yes, actually, Vax, since you are charged with overseeing the delivery, as the captain is now helping to unload stuff, you see Trank walking out. He's like, "Oh, bye, Vax. Have fun."
Long time no see.
And at that, you probably go, "Huh, I should probably go to the medical facility."
I kind of like, oh shoot, my job, and I scurry off.
How fast can a Ferengi run? Not very. The answer is not very.
Echoing from the distance as me running is, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap.
Well, nothing's actually been discovered, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything gets... You're working on unloading everything. Vac shows up, and at this point, the Cardassian ship shows up. And they beam a gull directly into the facility. And you're very curious how they actually did this, because the Ferengi couldn't. But the Cardassians are more technologically advanced than the Ferengi.
So I'm like kind of in the process of like moving some crates and stuff like that, right?
Uh-huh.
So, when that happens, I just try to nonchalantly whip out my tricorder and just kind of do a little scan to, to see if it picked up anything going on with that. Like, were the shields lowered? Did he beam through it? That kind of thing.
Yeah, you can make a insight science roll.
All right, that will be a 16. 1-6. These are like my Federation dice, I guess, because they're just doing so well.
So 3 successes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gain another momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what are we at now?
4.
I lost track.
Back up
okay.
To 4. So you see, your readings show that there was the transporter beam was altered. It was not a standard Cardassian transporter beam.
Mm-hmm.
There was a odd pattern to it. One that you would hypothesize is meant to get through the shielding, the structure of the facility. It seems odd because your ship would not be able to do this at this point. Like, if you needed an emergency beam out, you couldn't get it in the facility.
Yeah.
You would have to get outside of the building.
The captain, out of curiosity, so this is like kind of like asking the computer a second question kind of thing situation, I guess.
Sure. So spend a momentum for that.
Okay. Scan, like ask or check the readings on the Cardassian himself as to like his biology, like how he may have been affected by it. Like is he, like to see how the transport may have affected him based on. Ooh. Yeah.
He appears to be in normal health.
For a Cardassian. Okay.
There's nothing strikingly odd about him, but The tricorder is picking up something that's off. It's not a lack of data that is causing the problem. It's a limitation of the tricorder. A standard tricorder is incapable of making the determination. You would need a medical tricorder for it.
Right.
And you would probably need to scan him actively, not at a distance.
Passive, right.
Yeah. So the Gull and the doctor walk into his office.
So once I finish the scan, I talked to Koss. Koss has a medical tricorder, correct?
Yes.
If you get the chance, I'm going to see if I can, get the attention of that Gull and see if you can make any bioscans of this and see if there's anything.
And he looks at his tricorder. He nods. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, so just I'll do what I can.
Wait for the right time.
Yeah, okay. You got it.
Mm-hmm. So,
so they're in the office.
Yeah.
The office has windows. If you can certainly look in.
Yeah.
The way they're situated is that the doctor's back is to the windows.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the Cardassian.
Can I?
Vax is now in the facility, by the way. He came in after the Cardassian beamed in.
Mm-hmm.
As they're going into the office, Vax is now in the facility.
Is the office like enclosed, like sealed kind of thing, or is it like the door open, sort of, or
door closed?
Okay.
So yeah, door closed.
Like soundproof.
For
the most part.
For the most part, it's probably not a soundproof room, but
but it's muffled enough that
I'll say this: a Vulcan could hear.
Right.
Someone with lip reading could at least see one half of the conversation.
Well, that's what I was going to ask next. Is like, well, before you mentioned Vax coming in, I was going to say, can I do a check to see if I can read the Cardassian's lips, and I'll just kind of fumble work and
sure.
Yeah.
You can make an insight security roll. Okay. It's going to be difficulty 3.
All right, I'll spend momentum.
And I am going to spend 2 threat to raise the complication range.
Should I go for another die? What do you think, Chris? Should I spend 2 momentum or offer some threat to get another die?
Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
Well, I'll give 1 threat and spend 2 momentum. Okay.
Okay. So you now have 1 momentum, and I now have more threats.
Yep. I have a 7, 6, 13, and a 20. So I've got 3 successes and a 20.
And a complication. So you both succeeded and complicated this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that means I got noticed. But we'll see.
To say the least, yes. So at first, you start watching, and you can make out some words, some phrases along the lines of procured at great cost. I hope this benefits us both. Better not come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
that tells you that this is maybe more him than the Cardassian government.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe this is just a renegade goal.
Yeah, this is probably like an off-books delivery.
Perhaps the Obsidian Order is back.
Yeah.
Or...
we're never gone.
Oh, no, they were gone. After the incident, the mission to the Gamma Quadrant, that pretty much decimated the Obsidian Order.
There's always operatives, though.
Well, yes.
And the lingering operatives could reform.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and but remember, a lot of Cardassia was taken out through the war.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
yes. It's likely the ones off planet and everything.
Yes. Maybe it was a deep, deep, deep cover.
Yep.
But yes. Then you see him hand the doctor a case, a briefcase size case.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks up and he sees you standing there staring, and he bolts for the door.
Well, I wouldn't be standing there staring. Like I said,
you are, but with a complication.
Well, it's more that he would catch me looking directly at him, not standing and staring. Like I'm still working. My eyes would lingered a bit too long or something.
Well, he caught you in a moment where you were staring for a good while.
I'm just trying to put it in character context.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he bolts for the door. Well, I'll say this. In GM terms, complications let me have your characters act in some ways that they wouldn't normally act.
Right.
Because they're no longer the professionally trained Starfleet officers.
Yep.
They're the goofballs who throw a mine in the transport room.
So here's what happened. Went a little slack jaw, maybe a little bit of drool,
Yeah. You're like, wait, what? And he's like,
so
Gull looks like, wait,
I start charging, bolting for the Gull, and I motion for Costa to follow, and then look for Vac, see if he's close enough to get him to follow as well.
Didn't I just get through the door?
Oh no, because you got through the door. Now that conversation took place between the Gull and the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not blocking an entrance as of current.
No.
Mm-hmm. So like one hand going one side with Koss, one hand the other way with Vax. They'll kind of like come around to see if, because we should be familiar with the floor plan of the place by now, which is why I did the exit strategy scan and everything earlier. So we should know the different ways around. So we're trying to head them off at the pass, as it were.
Yep.
And is it possible for me to use, to attempt, albeit while running, maybe I have to stop to try to put up some sort of scattering or some sort of emission with the tricorder to block transporter, or just to make it difficult?
Because as he gets to the door, while you're going towards him, he transports out.
Scheißenhimmel.
And you are left with a doctor with a briefcase.
So I quickly shift my composure and go to the doctor and say, what was that about? Why was he off in such a hurry?
The less you know, Captain, the less you will have to account for.
Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. I already know. I have a feeling I already know I already know more than most. So if you're going to need help to see this through, perhaps you need a captain on your side.
If you really want to know, and I don't think you do, but if you really want to know, you need to be the one to open this briefcase. I know what's in here. If telling you makes you complicit. If you open it, you are now taking an active role. I don't want to implicate you. I want you to make the decision to choose to be on my side here.
I reach out for the case.
Okay. You open the briefcase and you see the very the N-probyl bromide.
Right.
Cases and cases of it, or vials and vials of it. That's on the top layer.
Mm-hmm. He
reaches out, he picks up the top layer. Underneath, 2 gel packs.
Well, I don't really take it as a big surprise, given that it was the list of things that he had mentioned. It's nothing. It's not new information to me at this point.
But how a Cardassian gull has bioneural gel packs?
Are they Federation or Starfleet stamped?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You see on them.
I take it in, or yeah.
You see on them Utopia Planitia.
Descartes takes this in stride, as it was unfortunately expected, given the information that we had up to this point.
More so, you see on them U.S.S. Luna.
Oh. Huh.
The Luna, so the original ship.
For background knowledge, the Luna was commissioned in 2368, went through testing, and had a warp core failure on its as part of its shakedown cruise.
11 years ago. So that
no 1 year before the Hadfield.
Well, you said it was 2379, so that's 11 years before current. So 10 years before this situation's timeline.
No. 20. We're in the Hadfield's in
2378.
The Hadfield's in 2379. The Luna was in 2378.
Okay, you said 68, which is why I was saying that.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
Now we're on the same page.
1 year.
Okay.
1 year before. So the Luna, is about is basically ready to launch at this point.
Okay.
Sorry. In April,
the
Luna is getting ready to go out of dry dock.
And they already have parts from it.
Yes.
So I see that. I look up to the doctor and say, all right, what's next?
Now we need a trill. And we start, we need trill DNA. And we take some DNA. We take the N-probyl bromide. We take some other stuff here, mixed together. We inject it into the neurogel pack, and we see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
So, he does all of that. It's gonna. The first testing will take a little bit of time to take about a day. So we'll jump that day.
Yeah.
He gets the results, and the results look very promising. They look as if the strengthening is, durability of the immune system is up. Everything looks good. And so he says, all right, based on the test, I think it's mass testing time. is still in the lab in control, of course.
Before this happens, like the night in between, I have a conversation with Vax and Koss about how, even though he's got stolen gel packs and the torpedo and all these kind of illicit goods, we need to wait and watch and see how far he intends to take this here before we act, before we do something about it.
Awesome.
Keeping the crew in the loop, telling them what I've discovered, because they did not follow me into the room.
Right.
Yeah.
So mass testing, and by mass I mean 50 trial cases, and by that it is, yes, you only have 2 gel packs, but you can there's other ways to simulate the growth. So
is he
tests.
Is this the stage where he's like actually going to test it on Trill here, or what's happening?
No, not yet.
Okay.
He's still doing lab testing because he wants to make sure his one test is not a fluke.
Yeah.
So he does more tests, and all but one of them work. The one seems to just be an abnormality. He gives you an account, and he says, "Okay, Captain, the 49 of my 50 tests have worked. The one that didn't, it could very easily just be a bad sample. These things happen. I've tried to look at the analysis here. It looks to be just a bad batch of the probyl bromide."
Am I nearby while hearing this?
I would not have brought you two in with me with this. Cool. I would have had you do other things.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. So for Vax, maintain contact with the Ferengi vessel for as long as they're here.
Oh, the Ferengi left.
Okay, they're gone. Okay.
They left that day.
Okay.
Yeah, they came in the morning. They were gone by mid-afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about an hour after Vax had the conversation with with Brasha, they're gone.
Well, have Vax maintain communication with his tipsy friend just to sort of maintain that contact. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's definitely contacts.
Yeah. Well, just I know that there's going to be, but it's going to be like an order. Oh
yeah.
Keep the connections with this. We may need to reel something in later.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. It says, Captain, I don't formally need your permission. I have my permissions from Starfleet Command, but
okay.
But you're here and you're seeing everything, and you seem to have a vested interest in what's going on here. With a 98% success rate, and one test being either abnormal DNA or a bad case of my ingredient.
Well, based on the information you have on that test sample, even though it is only 2%, is it possible that you could try to recreate the exact conditions for this sample and see if we can either turn it into a success or recreate the failure?
I can try.
Because even a 2% is too much of a risk.
He looks at you with a clenched jaw and just he's not happy at delays. He wants to press forward. He's trying to do due diligence, but he's ready to move on. He looks up the sample and the DNA, and he sees that the DNA came from. I have a name, I promise. Came from Kirill, the Joran's wife. So he retests, and he uses a different compound mix from a successful trial, and he gets a different failure.
Because remember, I asked him to recreate it exactly to see if it fails again, right?
Yeah. Well, he did two tests. He did the exact same test.
One as a control, yeah.
And then he did a different test because he wants to rule out, because he knows that's the next logical.
Of course. So to save time, he does them both at once.
And he did a DNA test that succeeded with the compound that failed. And that succeeded.
Can I do like a observation check or anything to see if there's any chance of him trying to either doctor the preparation or doctor the results in any way? Sure. And with more focus on not being noticed, like extreme care to just kind of like observe, not to accuse or anything like that.
Okay. So that's going to be it's definitely going to be medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have you do a presence.
Okay.
Presence medicine.
Okay, so it'll be a 13.
Yeah. Difficulty 1.
Okay, I'll just roll a 2. That is a 5 and a 17.
Okay, so you succeed. He is a scientist, first and foremost. Maybe a mad scientist, but he's a scientist. And you see that he is doing his best. Everything he's doing looks like everything he's done with every other sample to get the results that to get accurate results, not goosed results.
Yeah.
So based on all of that, you go with the 3 tests that were run to test her DNA twice, with the same test over for that to be a failure, with a different compound for that to be a failure, and then to test the compound with a successful DNA and have that be a success. He's certain that there's something off with her DNA.
Well, now we need to isolate her DNA and figure which counteractions are bringing up these anomalies. What is unique about her DNA that's causing these issues? Is she joined?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But so there's others here that have been joined.
Of course. But just that there's 2 sets of DNA to factor in this case. One that's less than 100 years old and one that's much older.
Yeah, but Captain, you have no idea how difficult it is to extract DNA from a symbiont.
Well, my understanding, I guess I don't know if I have to like roll for this, but like understanding like a symbiont and host, there would be blending, so fluids would transfer between them, so there would be trace, if not more, amounts of the symbiont's DNA in the host system.
Right, and that's what I mean, Captain. To differentiate, it's the 2 have become one. There's not a difference at this point. They are one being.
Oh, but Doctor, I would disagree. While mentally they may be one being, physically they are still 2 separate entities. They may share, but it's like 2 people kissing may swap saliva, but that does not mean that their faces meld and become one person. So there's still in the genetic material itself, there's differentiation.
Denobulin, you don't know of these things that you don't know.
Enlighten me.
You would have to be one of us in order to know. It is too difficult to explain to an outsider.
Fair enough.
I wish I could.
If I were Vulcan, I would request a mind meld, but sadly I am not.
Instead, the best you have to offer is your understanding and a great smile.
Well, then I follow up with, well, Doctor, I appreciate your efforts nonetheless.
Captain, at this point, I am ready to take my chances. I will be responsible for whatever fate befalls these people, but I'm 98% successful with my lab tests.
May I suggest isolation testing?
I don't
with your
have
next
the
stage?
time.
Why not? What's the pressure? Is there someone expecting this?
I'm dying.
Oh. Is this you talking, or you as in a symbiont? Just the
We
host,
are
or
dying.
both? Wow. I understand your need then. What's the nature of your condition?
Immune deficiency. This is our life's research.
Literally.
It's not without great risk that I've done what I've done. Why else do you think I'd be dealing with the likes of Brasha?
Understood.
And why else would I be dealing with a goal that I don't even know the name of?
Well, at this point, given the situation, I can't allow you to test this further on the people of this village. If you want to test it on yourself, I won't stop you. We have a controlled environment here in the lab. I will assist you in any way you need. But as I said, I cannot allow you to test this on the others, to use this. That is both myself and as a representative of Starfleet talking.
Starfleet knows, Captain.
Understood.
Starfleet, higher up than you, knows what I intend to do.
Well, then I need to be in contact with your contact in Starfleet.
There's no time.
Then get them on comms now. The sooner you have me on board, the faster that we can go through with this. But until such time, you are the only subject that I will permit.
He presses a button on the display on his desk. And up pops Admiral Earl Presnell. Well done, Captain. You've passed.
Cool.
Satisfying and not satisfying at the same time.
That was good. Thank you. Thank you for your part in this, Chris. That was awesome.
Oh, no problem.
Chris, show stealer Vax.
Well, hey, when you got it, flaunt it, right?
No, it was a scene worth taking and worth running with.
Yes.
And so I am serious in that the events of this lay groundwork for what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as it's a test, it's also memory, and it's also taken from fact in a what if way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
even though the scenario wasn't, our actions in it were pure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, the world disappears, and you three are left standing on a holodeck.
Mm-hmm.
You never left.
Mm-hmm.
They beamed you straight into a holodeck.
As I suspected, but once he did the to the planet thing, I did consider the possibility that the Maru had turned into a real situation, so I was open-minded about it.
You do notice that you have cortical stimulators on you.
Mm-hmm.
Captain, not the rest of you, which does account for why you didn't remember the being in space with the bioship.
Mm-hmm. And likely the disconnect with Rohn.
Yes. Because they had to alter your memory.
Mm-hmm.
They had to alter your perception of events.
Yep.
So that you could act differently.
Mm-hmm. To come from a source of ignorance and purity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Admiral Presnell, well, the Tellarite Admiral goes, Ash, you not having the symbiont was my idea. I wanted to see you as you formerly were. We're going to keep an eye on you, though. That's you still have things to prove, Captain.
Don't we all?
Of course, but it's you have shown great potential again, and having to revisit the scene of your plague in a different setup. It is a great test. Admiral Solek comes in and says, Captain, you are one to watch. I am intrigued by you.
Well, I shall endeavor not to disappoint.
Disappointment is illogical.
Well, I find great logic in striving to meet expectations, if not exceed them. To disappoint would be to not meet those expectations.
Well, we all strive to be our best selves.
And as captain, I not only have to be my best self for myself, but for my ship and her crew.
So, Captain, go and be your best self.
Thank you, sirs.
And Admiral Presno says, Captain, you have an interesting crew, a challenging crew on board the Hadfield. Not challenging in a negative sense, just a mishmash of races, of personalities. They're fine officers.
Infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
I want you to add to that. I want you to take Vax with you.
Gladly.
And I want you to take Koss Devon with you.
It would be my honor to serve with them again.
They're good people. They're lieutenants, but they will serve you well, and they are destined for great things.
Thank you, sir.
Captain, you were handpicked for exploration. Starfleet has fought far too many wars in the last 15 years. The Cardassians, the Dominion, multiple skirmishes with the Borg. Combat is a part of life. But don't underestimate the power of your words. I think that we can make far more friends out there than enemies. And there's a great need for friends. Cultures are not inclined towards violence. Not at first. Klingons, perhaps an exception. But, well, the Borg, but the Borg are different. But I have a sense that a tipping point is coming in our quadrants. More on that in briefings, of course. But you are out there as an explorer and as a communicator. And that's why your first officer is there too. We don't send our Bajoran commanders out to go be, to use a colloquial phrase, blasties. We send them out to be diplomats, and we send them out to be negotiators. So make use of your crew. They will guide you when you can't guide them. And don't take any guff from Shelby. She's a hard ass, but she is one of the best officers I have ever had under my command. And she is always on your side. Don't ever doubt that.
That's good to know, Admiral.
All right. That is where we will end.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Unless you have anything else you want to do.
I want to put in Vax for promotion to lieutenant, at least a mention, depending on what growth level you're thinking? Because I figure if he's going to be my engineer,
assistant engineer, transporter chief.
Yeah.
Officially, Vex will be your transporter chief, and your assistant engineer, probably your night shift engineer. So you're what? Delta shift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not only Delta because it's the fourth after Alpha, Beta, Gamma, but also Delta is in like.
Yeah. I mean, you'll have to decide how you run the ship in terms of 3 or 4 shifts.
Yeah.
But he's night shift engineer.
Yeah. I'm basically of the mind of 3 shift.
Yeah. So night shift, but he's around as transporter chief. So Vax probably sleeps during the day or the morning. He takes his mornings off.
The Delta shift functions better on ships with larger crew capacities, but the Luna is not Lunar. Luna. Yeah, Luna.
Luna.
Is on the smaller side. So
350.
Yeah. Like if we were closer to like 450, 500-600, then,
Yeah, and not all of your 350 are crew. Some of them are spouses. You do have you probably have some children on board. It's not a family ship.
Right.
Not like the Galaxy by any means, but
there are people with families, but it's not a family ship. Yeah.
Certainly your lieutenant commanders on up have first rights to family accommodations.
Yes.
You're not in a position where I don't know that any of your senior staff have that. But we also haven't fleshed that out entirely. Yeah. I know a lot of your senior staff is very young.
Yes.
Aside from your chief engineer, who's old and grizzled. Who will get along with Vax so well. Oh, right. The last thing we did need to do. Vax needs to chew out Fred.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Vax does. Fred was Fred is definitely a real character. Like he's actually
Fred is a real character.
Okay. So,
and George is a real character.
He wasn't a part of the hologram. He was actually.
Oh yeah.
Was Fred aware that he was in a hologram at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
no. Okay.
So he was also a living being, but participating in the scenario.
Yeah. Just the first half, of course.
Yes.
And then they were transported off. They're like, oh, you don't need us anymore. La-di-da-di-da.
Synaptic inhibitors were used to give them the illusion that they were actually doing that, so they didn't think that they were on a holodeck. Yeah. Cool. This was so much fun. Like,
okay, Vax.
Yeah.
Chew me out.
Okay, so I'm assuming everything's gone down. Everybody's happy. Like, hey, we passed a test. Isn't that great, right?
Yeah. So where do you want the scene to take place?
Let's try
set the scene.
Let's try
corridor. So random corridor on Space Station Bravo. Okay.
Yeah, so everybody's like leaving the hollow deck, whatever. Like, yeah, that was good. I didn't know it was a test. That's great. That was funny. And just, as they're chit chatting, I'm walking down the corridor, smiling, nodding, like, yeah, that we did good. Working my way towards Fred.
Fred's got his head lowered and is just trying to walk the other way.
Fred, come here, Fred.
Oh, hi, Vax. That was a lot of fun in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it, Fred?
Well, they told me to keep life interesting.
Oh, I wag a finger at him like, oh, Fred, you definitely kept things interesting there. Yeah, just you all the hubbubaloo of it being red alert and being attacked by not one, But 2 bioships going after a colony that we needed to defend at all costs?
There was only one around when I almost blew up the ship.
Oh, but there was a second. Hence the 2 warheads, Fred. Come on, you've got to keep up with these things. So
you're right.
Yes. Just a minor suggestion, Fred, if I may have a minor suggestion before I file my reports and all.
Of course, Lieutenant.
If you ever endanger the crew on my shift like that ever again, I will make sure that you will write every letter to the deceased families and explain why your incompetence killed them. And is that understood?
Yes, sir.
I glare at him with my little beady piercing eyes. My attitude went from fake bubbly and happy to I am going to rip out your trachea at any minute now and beat you with it. Because do you know what that's like at all, Fred? To write letters to the deceased that their lives mattered for a moment in history?
No, sir.
So when the next time that you have an antimatter explosive in your hands, you will hopefully follow the strict regulations that the Federation has to offer.
Yes, sir.
Be thankful this time. Not only do we successfully beam that warhead off our ship, but it was also nothing but a hologram. Next time, we might not be lucky.
He nods, not even wanting to say anything, and walks away.
And I nod. I'm still pissed. Like, I am just livid.
Oh, rightfully so.
And I nod and carry on down the hall. And I do not really make remarks to anybody. I have made I've given my 2 cents. But even now that people are talking all excited and everything like that, I am nowhere near capable of going back to that attitude. I am now.
Yeah. Livid.
Yeah.
Your Admiral Solek, the Vulcan, overheard the exchange, and he comes up to you and he says, "Oh, Lieutenant Vax, correct?"
Yes, that's me.
That was some clever thinking in there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You might just make commander someday. Maybe captain, if you so desire.
It's hardly the rank, I'm afraid. I just want something to occupy my time. That's all I just want my skills to be of value to somebody somewhere.
You've showed great potential. Don't waste it.
That's why I'm here. I thank you. I greatly appreciate your words.
I'm a Vulcan. I don't say my words lightly.
Which makes them even more weighted for me. I greatly appreciate it.
Carry on, Lieutenant.
I nod and just kind of. I try to leave the crowd without engaging with anybody. I'm done, basically.
Yeah, but of course, when an admiral stops you, you stop.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah.
And honestly, that did perk me up a little bit. Maybe I wouldn't say inflate my ego, but it did kind of bump it up. But I'm reminiscing. I'm disappointed. I have a lot mulling over in my head right now. So even the kind words are just one more thing for my mentality to chew
There's
on.
There's a lot to process.
Yes.
Yeah. There's an intense situation. You had a lot to contend with.
It's not so much the situation; it's the results. It's Fred's actions actually that are going to have Vax.
Oh yeah,
kind of rolling.
Yeah. So Vax, you head back to your quarters and start packing.
Yep.
You've got a transfer coming in. You know that. Rohn, you head for sickbay due to the strain of the mission. Nothing urgent. Just you will see one nurse, Valia Shakiris, Andorian. Darn those Andorian names.
Shakiris.
She has been taking care of you. She's been overseeing a lot of your care through the recovery process. And she sees you instantly and goes, "Oh, Captain, I see you've passed, but you still don't look well. Seems that there was a great toll to everything."
Well, and it was the Maru. It's not designed to be a cakewalk. If it doesn't test me, then what would his purpose be?
Too true. The medical equivalent is no cakewalk either. It is a life or death, mostly death scenario. Triaging an incomprehensible number of patients and being faced with the reality that you cannot save everyone.
Having to choose who lives and who dies is not a decision anyone looks forward to. But it is one people in our positions must face sometimes on a regular basis.
And be capable of making the decision, because hesitation causes more loss of life.
Not only that, but coming back from it, maintaining yourself, still being whole, and being able to face it again.
Yes. But, Captain, there's no shame in having to deal with it. Having to take time and reflect, to incorporate experiences into yourself before you can better yourself.
Indeed.
You're still in recovery. You've had traumatic life experiences. No one, including yourself, should expect you to be ready. There's no timetable for you to be in the center chair. I know you want to be out there. I want to be out there too. I'm ready to go with you when you are. You know I'm not leaving your side anytime soon. I've been with you every step of the way. And I'm not going to leave you once you go on the Hadfield, because nobody knows your care like I do.
I place my hand on hers and say, I wouldn't want anyone else there with me.
But Captain, if you're not ready, and as your nurse, can't call myself a doctor, but as your nurse, you don't look quite ready yet.
Well, sometimes looks can be deceiving, and while I admit I am not at 100% peak efficiency at the moment. I am far better off now Rohn, than I would have been as just Descartes.
Perhaps we need to talk more about what that means, because I haven't heard you speak like that, and I have a feeling your test gave you some insight into that.
Well, going through what I've gone through, and with what's ahead, having Rohn to draw on for not only wisdom, but strength, is allowing me to present myself as my best self. And whatever state I'm in, my best will be what I am offering. At this point, while I appreciate the time to get back on my feet, as it were, I do believe that I am ready for the chair.
She walks over, grabs a data pad, presses some buttons, puts her thumb on it, and hands you the pad. And you see Captain Descartes Rohn, medically cleared for duty. That is where we will end tonight.
Excellent. Perfect place.
All right.
And
kudos thank you all for watching. Yeah, some bonus scenes at the end, but some cool scenes at the end. Some role play scenes at the end. Those are the scenes that make this game tick.
Character development.
It's all character development.
More so in cases like this, in my opinion.
I will always take those character development scenes, those like
the
at the end of
moments.
Yeah, at the end of a scenario, or even in the middle of one. If there's a scene between characters that you want to have, just like say, "Hey, sidebar, I want to do this with this character," and you role play it out. But that's the way to do those scenes. That's how you build up these characters, and it doesn't change everything, but it changes something.
Yep.
And so we will be back. At least some of us will be back next Friday. Vax has control of the Hadfield engine room because Zip is on vacation. Well, not vacation, but he's on assignment. So
yeah, I'm scared too.
John has other commitments, but we will go from there. What mission we're playing, who knows? Brasha is definitely coming back.
Oh, good.
Well, look, we developed her here. She's coming back.
Yes. So.
Trank and Gimp. Gimp. I need to write
like these. Shemp.
Yes.
Trank. Gimp.
Yes. They are coming back. Will Dr. Tobler-Rohn come back? Probably.
Oh, definitely.
Because that's now in the. It's part of your captain. So. Yep. So we've now established at least one past host.
Yes. Woohoo!
Which is really cool, because part of the whole notion of being a Trill is that you have these past hosts to draw upon, and now you have a past host with a wealth of medical knowledge and genetic engineering, which, if that's not enough of a hint, you need to be more familiar with your Star Trek lore. Con!
Eugenics, baby.
And that's where I'm stopping the broadcast. Take care, guys.